what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Parents, are you tired of helping put your kids' shoes on? They're squirming, watching cartoons, anything but helping. Luckily, it's Skechers to the rescue. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you can just get your kids to step into and their shoes are on. You don't need to bend over. You don't need to sit on the floor and try to wrangle them on. And they're available in all types of Skechers styles with and without laces, and most are machine washable. Find Skechers slip-ins for kids or mom and dad at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Don't miss a minute this summer at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Shinedown, Billy Idol, and many, many more. Saturday, September 16th, ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner. Sunday, September 17th. 1, 2, 3, 4 Fest with Rise Against, Rancid, and many, many more. Saturday, September 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Secure box seating and VIP club access today by contacting Philly Premium Seating at LiveNation.com.
Back to school means new clothes, new school supplies, and most importantly, can't forget a fresh new haircut. Sal's Barbershops voted Best Children's Haircut 7 years in a row. Has 9 convenient locations in the Philly suburbs. Sports talk, great service, free drinks and snacks. When it comes to your hair this school year, trust the award-winning barbers at Sal's Barbershops. Check out their thousands of 5-star reviews online. Book your appointment now at salsbarbershopsvip.com. That's salsbarbershopsvip.com.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5, The Fanatic. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Go Cuz. How you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is it, the last Monday of August, summer. This is it, 1 week left in summer. You know, I hate to give you that with a gleeful tone because I almost feel disloyal to my children who are like dreading going back to school and the whole thing. You know, everybody, we all want summer to extend. But a little gleeful in that this is, we had some football over the weekend on Saturday, and the Irish look good and winning in Dublin. And then Thursday night, there's more college football, big college football weekend. And then it all starts a week from Thursday, the NFL. And isn't it going to be incredible? It is like, I can't remember a season in which we all look forward to like this. I mean, I just thought it was, you know, you just got the feeling it's just going to be incredible. And the expectations and the enjoyment, the dominance and everything else. So it's a fun time. Let me just say this, all right? Before we get deep into the show today and go through all of our stuff, let me just say thank you. Let me say thank you. For those of you, first of all, thank you for listening as always, but be a part of the family. And all those people at FanFest, and even if you didn't go, you embodied it. Because FanFest on Saturday was the biggest and the best ever. It was 10 years, the 10th anniversary, and it was incredible. I mean, it really was an amazing event. I don't know how many people there, 12,000, 15,000. I don't know. I just know that when you have that many people together in Philadelphia, and there were no fights, and there was no nonsense, nothing like that, It was a great outpouring of love. It was family. It was like we're all in this together. And it really felt like that. What I love, and I preach, constantly as a part of the theme of the show, is that we're all together. Like we're all in this together. We're all 4 for 4 as a euphemism for everything Philadelphia. Everything the Delaware Valley. That includes, union and colleges and kids who make it elsewhere, the kids who make it, will get called up, Zach Gallen and all these other kids. Like, they're a product of us. And I've always thought that that's how we should be, right? That we go from season to season with our teams and have our own civic pride. And, we're going to bitch and moan when they do us wrong. But, we love. And we're all in it together. And there's no front pew to being an Eagle fan, right? Like, we're all Eagle fans. Right? Nobody's out there. And I always thought that was so beautiful. That what I saw on Saturday was one of the most amazing things ever. Again, every fan fest, I walk away with this, like, in awe. But again, it never disappoints. I mean, it's pretty amazing. You guys are an amazing bunch. And I don't pander. You know that. I've never pandered. I just give you how I feel. And I just thought it was one of the most amazing things ever. All that sea of green, Kelly green, mostly, and Philly's red. It felt like Christmas. It felt like love in the air. It was a special thing. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because I thought it was beautiful, man. I loved meeting as many people as I can or seeing old friends that we have met in the past or meeting new ones. It was just beautiful, man. You guys, and I love all the families. Like there was, fathers and sons and mothers and sons and fathers and daughters and mothers and daughters and cousins everywhere. It was something, man. It was beautiful. So I just want to say thank you. How about it, Dickie Don? Now I got you. Let's. You and I were together a lot on Saturday. How amazing was that thing?
Oh, it was awesome. Like, I'm still trying to process and relive all of it because as long as 6 hours can be, and for those of us who were there at like 8:30 in the morning, as long as, whatever, 8.5 hour day can be, that went by so fast. Went by in a blink of an eye for me. I turned around, next thing you know, I'm sitting there listening to Fall Out Boy close out the set, and I'm like, wait a second. There's got to be more of this event, right? We're not all just going to go home now. It was just that much fun, and I enjoyed like every second of it. And like you said, the sea of people. And the sea of people that were just so genuinely happy to see one another. Like just happy to be around each other, happy to make new friends, happy to reconnect with some old friends, recognize a voice. And, I see callers doing it with, wait a second, you're, and like just kind of that type of connection of, oh, yeah, we do kind of live a similar day, even though our lives could be very, very different. And that was really, really cool to get a chance to see everyone and be a part of that event. I mean, last year it blew me away because it was the first time I was a part of the station. This year was, I almost am lost for words with just how overwhelming it was with everything happening, the number of people there. And again, like you said, just the positivity of it. Just seemed like there were just so many people just genuinely happy to be in one space at one time.
Well, I love it. Like when you get that many people together and we're bonded. We're bonded by sports is what it is. Our love and passion in sports, and this is what we do, right? So we're bonded by it. We're together, and it was apparent. It was on display. I can only imagine a guy like Nick Foles seeing all this and feeling that adulation. How incredible it must be for someone like him to kind of bear witness to this stuff.
How many thank yous he must have been on the receiving end of when he got through that crowd. I mean, he, as deserved, was incredibly popular, and I just saw the wave of people going towards him. Anywhere he walked, anywhere he moved. I had him text as soon as he was on a cart in the place, driving somewhere. I got to, Nick Foles in the building. Yeah. And that's just the way it was, where Nick Foles is here. And it was the way with almost all the guests, really, where it's like, whoa, wait, where are they? They're here? Can we grab? Can I go say hi? Like, that was a really, really cool thing for just all the people that showed out. And it shows a lot about the athletes that keep coming back here and keep wanting to be a part of stuff like that. And also shows a lot about us that years after, and obviously Foles is the one that gets you over the hump, but everyone there, years after, we all care to come by, see, and stand there and wait our time to take a picture, get autographs, just share a story with them.
Yeah, and it's funny because it obviously they're a big part of it. Lou Williams and Jonesy and Scotty Hartnell and seeing everybody like that was awesome. Like that was a really cool thing, right? Like that was having all those guys there and all the teams represented and all those fun things and the concerts and Fall Out Boy and Ray Shrimmer. Like the whole thing was great, right? But it really is about the people that just wanted to go and be together. And that's like the lesson in this thing, which is the lesson is together we are empowered. Together, like Pat, it's funny. Pat Croce told me something years ago that I always thought was brilliant. And you always talked about the circle. Like it should be all a circle. And if you keep the circle tight, the circle rises, right? And together, you can achieve a beautiful time, right? An enriching time. And what it was, hey, listen, everybody's going to take, I'm going to go real deep on this thing because that's kind of what I took out of it, is that when we're all together like that, and it's just for a moment, it's a reminder how we don't really have drastic differences, right? Like everybody has their own, background and the lives they lead and everything else. But we're all together as, Delaware Valley people, whether you're from Pottstown or West Philly or, Belmar, New Jersey, or wherever you're from. We have this common bond that brings us together. And that's a beautiful thing, man. It's something to be cherished.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. And the way you talk about it there, like the circle of all of us, and just, again, seeing so many people there that are part of our everyday life. But, when we do this, just you and I looking at one another, kind of having the conversation, and people hop on, and we get a chance to talk a couple people at once, getting that whole wave of everyone to be together and share in what we do every day and what they love and what they're passionate about was awesome. It reminds you just how cool it is, the environment that we exist in, that this sports town exists in, is so much more than any, one thing, any one sport, any one athlete, any one person, just how big the entire thing was. And it was, again, really, really cool to be in the kind of the center of all that, is all that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, dude. So with you, man. So with you. It was great. And it was great to having you. And, I look at somebody like you, who, I adore. I think you do terrific and whole
Appreciate
thing.
that.
And I look at my man, DeCunis, and I see that, the attention he got, it does my heart well. Like, you getting recognized. Like, I met your parents on Saturday.
Yes.
And they were fantastic. Your
I'm
mom
biased.
and
I
dad,
like them.
they were for you. I met your girlfriend and her parents. I mean, they were, and her family. Like, they were wonderful. I was happy to see you guys kind of get, you guys were an essential part of it.
It was funny because it was the tailgates has become I know a tradition for Andrew and Bob to do the early morning walk around, and I was walking around with Chunis, and it was one of those things where people are like, wait a second, young kid walking next to Chunis, let me try and put this one together. That must be Dickie Dunn. And it was funny as people started to come to that because, hey, Chunis. It was like, wait, Chunis is walking with someone who looks pretty young. And it was fun to walk around with him, especially, let's go the whole deep rep. But since we're doing it right now, how much he's helped me get here and be a part of this, being able to walk around with him and enjoy the event was really, really cool.
That's awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, I had fun with you, man. We really did. Even though I bogarted your time on Saturday.
Hey, listen, man, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be happy to put that one on the timesheet for the week. I had a great time. Welcome into the show. It's Anthony and Ricky. All right, we got a break at 23.
So,
I'll
most
check
of you
back
guys
in.
were at Fan Fest, right? So, I again, those people who couldn't make it, maybe they were listening. Who knows? It's a busy Saturday. So, I don't know how many people were listening. But Tunis and I did 12 to 1
1-2.
1-2, whatever. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
And then you and Ricky Bo were doing 2-3.
Right.
And so I didn't have to be outside again until like 3:30. So, I got an hour to kill. And then, so I was comfortable, and I was sitting there. And then Ricky and I started going inside baseball because I covered baseball all the time. The whole thing. I was Scab. I was at Scab for a little bit. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, playing spring training during the strike. And it was a lot of fun. So I knew a lot of those guys that Ricky knew. So we were getting in this deep, like, baseball conversation. And it was, it's funny. People say inside baseball. It means completely inside stuff that people really have no interest in. And we went deep inside baseball, literally. Just slot. We were talking about grip,
the one hand,
stride.
one finger cutter.
Yeah.
If Ricky had thrown, his career may have been entirely different.
Yeah.
But it was great.
The one finger cutter. That's awesome.
I have to say that the most difficult part of my day was the 2 walks that led into that hour and that led out of that hour. Because I walked with Ricky Bo to get him up to the broadcast area, and you're walking with the star there. Everyone, Ricky, stop. And then I walked with you because I was bringing you over to say hi to the family, say hi before you went over the beach meet and greet. And to get the 2 of you through the crowd was one of the funniest things in the world, because every time I turn around, someone had a phone in your face, or was like, hey, you mind taking a picture, hanging out, saying, talking a little bit, which is awesome, which is the entire purpose of all of it. And it was so great, but it was so funny. The walk there, it's like, all right, Ricky, we're going to be on there in a couple minutes. And he's taking pictures of everyone. All right, I'll get there. And then taking you to get to the beach meet and greet. It was, oh, hey, cuz, come here, take a picture. What do you think about the birds? And it was one of the fun things of watching that dynamic happen on both ends of that broadcast, just walking in and out, which was really, again, one of the special parts of what Saturday was.
Yeah, it was great. Anyway, thanks for indulging us and allowing us to talk about Saturday. I just want to thank you guys for all your support, because even if you weren't there, you were there in spirit, because it embodied Philadelphia, and it embodied my Philadelphia, which I think I'm so proud of, and I think it's got an endless capacity for love of sports and love of one another. So, thanks. Coming up, Nola. What? Oh my, Aaron Nola! If he's back, we're gonna have a lot of love come October. That's coming up next. Cuz Radio, Dickie Dunn, just getting started on a Monday, right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies sweep away the Cardinals. I'm Ray Dunn.
10 o'clock hour brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Boom, boom, boom. How about Aaron Nola? Are you kidding me? Oh, my. Nola. I mean, today's era of baseball, when you see a goose egg, that's like a big deal. You don't see a lot of goose eggs in Major League Baseball. And Aaron Nola, after allowing a leadoff double to Edman, right? He shuts him down the rest of the way, allows just a walk. I mean, can you get better than 7 innings, 0 runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts? What? Oh, my. Aaron Nola, welcome back. That was unbelievable. What a performance by Nola. And if somehow he can find himself. And look, the one thing we know about Nola, and I'm not telling you that there's never going to be hold your breath moments, because that's just the nature of who he is. But what we talked about before when it came to Nola was he always had a stretch where he was dominant, where he struck out a lot of guys, he give you a lot of innings, and there was always a stretch, go back to last season, go back to the season before, where he had one of those really effective stretches, and that was the difference this year. And obviously the pitch clock and everything else, but we didn't have any of those stretches. Maybe last start, and especially this start, against the lineup, and you can say whatever you want, how bad the Cardinals are. I think it's more of a product of them not having any kind of pitching, but their lineup is still decent. I'm looking at it right now, right? Like, so Edman is their leadoff hitter, who's really, really good dynamic player, got a lot of speed. Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras. I mean, they got that kid Gorman plays second, got a lot of pop. They got the other kid, Burleson, he's a promising young talent. I mean, they got some decent bats in that lineup. And Nola shut him down, man. A lot of swing and miss, a lot of good movement. His stuff was crisp yesterday. It's funny. I had 2 football games yesterday. So throughout the course of the day, I was checking on my phone, whatever. I didn't get home until, close to 7. So last night, I just went back and DVR'd, and because I always DVR every game, I went back and I was just kind of fast forward through the game, and I knew what happened, so I just wanted to watch Nola, what he looked and how he looked. Man, he had a rhythm going. That was the first time all year with this pitch clock that I saw a real rhythm out of him. Dickie Dunn.
Oh, yeah. And it was evident that second inning. When he comes back out, he strikes out the side in the second inning. You saw he was humming. I thought the first indication of what he could be yesterday was he gives up that double, then Burleson comes up, and he just gave him 3 straight hooks. Dropped the curveball in there, and Burleson was nowhere near it. He could not read that pitch to save himself in that at-bat. And to me, I was, okay, that looks like Aaron Nola. At least those were, and he later described the first at-bat was non-competitive pitches. He was just trying to get himself over the zone. He ends up allowing double to Edman, which, all right, fine. Let the leadoff guy on. But he comes back, and the way he responds, having a runner on second, which we know runners on for him has been a problem. But the way he responds, trusting his curveball there to go 3 straight breaking balls against Burleson with the runner on, I thought that was the first indication to me where, he might have something going today. And the second inning when he comes back out, there was no doubt beyond there of like, okay, he really has his stuff clicking right now. If he can keep this moving the rest of the game, we're going to be in a good spot. Now, I didn't have 21 of 22 consecutive batters retired good on my mind, but it really looked like he was in his zone once he got back on the mound in that second inning, and he carried that through 7, which was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then on top of that, you got Alvarado. Oh, yeah, there was a walk in there, but a pair of strikeouts. That's the Alvarado experience. Him being back is another really, really big thing that you got out of yesterday. All in all, I mean, first 8 innings of pitching was a really, really solid performance.
Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, I was just absolutely thrilled, man. I was thrilled with it. Now, again, could it be that he's finally found his footing? There's a lot on him, right? He's never comfortable with the pitch clock. We all know it's a contract year. Guys face it differently, right? It affects guys differently. So maybe if you get this Nola back, I mean, and again, I'm not saying it's going to be this dominant every time, but if you can get some stretches where he can go give you, 6, 7 and not blow up on you, and that's huge. That's monster because you get that pitching staff all weekend long against a really good Cardinals team. Not a really good, I shouldn't say that because they stink, but against a decent Cardinals lineup. They swept them, man. They shut them down. It was great pitching this week. And I told you, there's still danger in that lineup.
And that 1-2 that we kept going back to last year, we were gearing up for Red October. The conversation was, this lineup has a lot of power. They could do a lot of great things. But we kept telling ourselves and we kept believing in the fact that you have Wheeler and Nola, you're 1-2, leading the way, and that can take you to wherever you want to go. And Wheeler's now run off a really great 9-start stretch where even though the Phillies, I think, are just around 500 in those starts, he's got a sub-3 ERA in that time. And you've seen Nola now run off a pair of 7-inning performances where he's looked in control in both of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big step forward to where you want to be. I know there was just great comparisons to last October when you needed to get the sweep in St. Louis, you turned to Wheeler and Nola. And now you got Wheeler and Nola going on the weekend part of a series with St. Louis, and the Cardinals are in a whole different spot. But it's a nice reminder of what you have at the 1-2 for pitching if Nola pitches up to what you expect it to be. And now that'll be a key going forward because if you break out and start trying to run the rotation and where he's going to line up again, he's going to have some big starts down the stretch. I mean, there's a chance you're going to get to see him against Milwaukee, against Atlanta, and you're going to get to see how he fares in some of those playoff-esque type of matchups against teams that you could see down the line. So I think these were two great steps. One against the Giants, against a team that was is still flirting with the playoffs, and against the Cardinals, who their team is not having the season you'd expect. But for a guy that's given up home runs, he pitched against them at Citizens Bank Park, and they still have Goldschmidt and Arenado right in the middle of that lineup. I'm not betting against those two to hit home runs any night. So I think that was a big 2 starts for him. Where now it's about how does this project out for him the rest of the season and some big starts in September. Can he replicate last year's September?
Yeah, huge, man. And look, this sweep was big, too, because now, and they've won 5 of 6 total, you're up 3 games for the top wild card spot. That's a big deal.
Big to finish it off. Finish off the weekend. It's
a big deal, man. And right, like we talked about, finish it off on the game on Wednesday. They finished off yesterday. They finished the Cardinals off. So now all of a sudden, they're 3 games. You got a little bit of a cushion. You got 3 games in when it comes to 3-game lead when it comes to the top wild card spot, and that's what you need to secure.
Yeah, they need badly to be in Citizens Bank Park to open up the playoffs. It's just a different dynamic for this team. You could tell they feel very much at home, and they play really well.
Well, I mean, they were unbeatable until the World Series.
Right.
Until Houston, they were unbeatable. So here you go. And again, it wasn't even it was such a good weekend that they outscored the Cardinals 22-3 over the 3 games. Yeah. I mean, that's all right.
We talk about Wheeler and Nola, little props to go around for Christopher Sanchez and the way he was able to, continue what has been a really solid season for him.
And the ball was flying that night, too.
And he did a good job to keep them in check,
too. Yeah, the 2 early home runs he allowed, and the ball, and then he settled down. The ball was flying out. How about Wheeler, though? 10 strikeouts, 3 hits, a 1 run, no walks, 80 pitches, dude. Can you get a more concise 80 pitches?
No, you can't. When he is at his best and masterful and really commanding at everything that he's got, I'd take him against almost any pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
Just watching him at the top of his game operate. And I understand.
No, he is the horse. Like, he reminds you of Halliday type.
Right. And
you know?
he is one of the great bets that this organization has ever made.
Yeah, great pickup.
Like,
that was Dombrowski. Great stuff.
I mean, that bet that he was going to be able to get himself through an entire season and really, really consistently use his stuff to get guys out was one of the great bets this organization
really
ever
was.
had.
It really was. All right. So we got the Angels coming in. We got to go over the schedule for the Phillies, right? So the Angels are coming in. So Ohtani, obviously, because of the UCL, will not be pitching Wednesday. Originally, he was slated to go. That would have been his turn on Wednesday. But he's still in the lineup. God bless. I love that dude. I got to tell you, man.
Awful for baseball, but everything with that's been so weird. You see the reports now that they were going to get imaging done on his arm.
And he didn't want
to do it. I mean,
I know.
I obviously hurt for the game that he's not doing it. On top of that, I just think about the man's wallet. Like, he's gonna make a lot of money. But he probably left $100 million on the table.
I was going to say two. It was funny. I did a Fox hit last week, and the guys, we were talking about it, like how much you think it'll cost them. I mean,
two wouldn't surprise me either.
UCL future. Can he count on them without breaking down? Like, he's still going to get paid, like you said, but the $700 million range, I think that comes down by a deuce.
Yeah, I don't think he's it. 500 feels like what it would be, but you start to get, you start to see teams get worried. I'm sure, he's definitely driving his price down.
What makes
right
him
now.
special? It's a sin.
Yeah.
Because what makes him special is the fact that he's going to hit 50 bombs and then go get you. Every other start's going to be really good. Like, he's a dominant pitcher, dude.
He's going to have a maybe 3 or sub-3 ERA and hit 50 bombs.
I mean, it's the closest that we've ever seen to Babe Ruth. Like, it's amazing.
Even Babe Ruth, he did both of those things in his career, but doing them at the same time in the same season, like.
No,
he wasn't doing it like that. And against the competition today, like, that's one of the things that I think we'll end up like looking back on if he doesn't get back to the pitcher that we've seen, which, I think the odds are probably stacked against him with the second time with the UCL. We'll probably have the one of those great what ifs that we love to go down. If he was able to continue as a pitcher, he probably cements himself as the greatest to do it.
Yes.
If he was able to do it over a long period of time.
Yep.
And now we'll be left to kind of wonder that one unless he, if he beats the odds and gets back out there, God bless. I'm happy for him, but it'll be tough.
So 3 with the Angels, who, by the way, are, the Angels.
Yeah. They figured out how to buy at the deadline and still be terrible in the second half. It was really, really.
The Trout thing stinks.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that's the one thing. It's a shame, man.
Really, he's another one. But right now, like, the health for him is just crushing the all-time standing of him.
Yes.
And
it's not like he's old. He's young, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's young. Oh, my God.
Do you think there would be a thought for him to
you know what?
get his way out?
I have to say, I got to correct myself. I said Dombrowski, and it was Klentak who signed Wheeler.
Was the Klentak, yeah.
Thanks, Louise. And I guess it goes back to my innate bias of hatred of Klentak. But, yes, I got it. Fairness. We always believe in fairness.
Yes.
And it was Klentak.
Too good from Klentak was the NOLA extension, which ended up getting him cheap, and the Wheeler.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Able to do the pitching.
It was funny because when I said it, I went, I actually think it was Klentak, but I'll be honest.
I'll go with it. But I was like, Anthony has it. So
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. Bleep Klentak.
And if we have to go with it, McPhail bothered me more than Klentak. Even though Klentak bothered me, McPhail. If we don't, we don't.
Klentak was bad, dude.
Oh,
his whole thing. McPhail was just smug. A smug old baseball guy. That what it was. But Klentak. talk to you like you didn't know the game.
Right.
Which really, to me, I found offensive.
Yeah. The McPhail thing was if we don't, we don't. Still rubs me the wrong way.
He was just smug, dude.
Yeah, I still hurts me. Come
on. So you got 3 with the Angels. Then you go to Milwaukee for 3. All right.
I'm very excited for that series.
The Brewers series?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I think they added amongst the margins their lineup at the deadline where it wasn't anything splashy that was like, oh, this is something that's going to help jumpstart an offense that hasn't been good. But they've been a team this year where if they can get to 4 or 5 runs in a game, their pitching staff is just so good that.
Well, I mean, you got Burns.
And that's what.
Hey, Woodruff is back now. Woodruff's nasty, man. Yeah. You got Peralta. Like that's a great staff. Their lineup, though, I'm still not.
Right. I'm not telling you it's barreling up the way the Phillies are barreling up, but that's kind of what I want to see this Phillies lineup go against their rotation, because I think that'll be it'll be nice for them to see them, because we talked about the Phillies struggling against guys they haven't seen a ton. I'd like them to see this rotation and see what their lineup can do right now while they're hitting as well as they're hitting it. So I'm excited.
All right, so you got 3 home Angels, 3 at Milwaukee. Then you go 3 at San Diego, who's flailing, who are the biggest disappointment ever.
You seeing the quotes coming out from this weekend? Things are getting bad out in San Diego. Enjoy the sun, because the baseball's no good.
No.
They're upset.
I'm shocked, because I believed in them. I thought they were going to be good.
So did I. I was ready to pencil in another matchup with them at some point in the postseason this year. But I'll be more than happy for all that talent to be on a golf course at some point in October and not on a baseball field.
All right, then you got 3 Miami, who's starting to fade. And then September 11th, the showdown. You got 4 against Atlanta at home. You got one's a doubleheader.
Right, that's the September 11th doubleheader from the game that was 2 hours on the concourse and then was postponed.
Yeah, everybody got mad because it was the concession night.
Yeah. We had a nice time hanging out there on the concourse.
And then just to finish it out, because we'll finish the rest of the schedule, and then we'll look at it and see. Today's going to be scheduled day. We're going to go through some stuff, geek out a little bit. 3 at St. Louis, right? And then back with the second half, 3 at Atlanta. Then you come home, 4 Mets, and they're done. And then you got the Pirates come in for 3. And then you come in, you go and end the year with the Mets. We think, dude, I mean, that's a very positive schedule.
Yes. That last stretch right there, you hope you just kind of pile up the wins, and maybe that last weekend you're able to save a little bit and able to slow things down for the team a little bit. You go up to New York. They turn Citi Field into CBP North. We have some fun times at the Mets' expense, but maybe you don't have to go all the guns because you got some teams that are really floundering at the end of your schedule, which is nice.
Yeah. All right, we'll kind of go by. We'll figure out how many I love W's now, and today's Eagles schedule day. I want to get into that as well. We'll open up the phone lines coming up. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Cuz Radio, my man Dickie Dunn, right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies sweep the Cardinals. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by
10:49 across the Delaware Valley. Buzz Radio, Dickie John. So these 30 games, like if you look at these games, let's just have some quick fun, and then we'll open up the phone line, 610-632-0975, and then the vault. So if I say to you 3 Angels, where do you want to go? 2?
Yeah, I'll take 2 or 3 there.
All right. At 3 at Milwaukee.
Give me 2 or 3. This team's rolling.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to go 1 and 2.
All right. I'll
Just
put my red glasses on.
For fairness.
For fairness, yeah, let's go 1 and 2.
3 at San Diego. I mean, they're a mess right now, San Diego.
They are a mess.
They can't win 2. They can't go 2-1 against that team.
They go 2-1 against that team.
All right. This is it. 4 against the ATLs. 2 and 2?
Yeah, split.
Yeah. Agreed. Then 3 at St. Louis.
I want to say 2 of 3, but I know I have to set myself up. There is going to be a series where we end up pulling our hair out about this team in September.
Let's say they lose 1 of 2. All right, 2 or 3. All right?
That feels like it could be the place where they do it.
And then they're at Atlanta and they lose 2 or 3 again.
Okay, sounds good. So what, is that going to lead into a... Yeah, we'll have a good, fun Monday after that. The sky will be falling. They've lost 4, 6. One of them was to a bad team.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pencil
I think that
in.
kind of fair, that look.
Yeah.
So they would be in that stretch. They would be, let's see, 3 and 3, 5 and 4, 7 and 6, and then they're 8 and 8, and then they would go 9. It would be 9 and 10.
There we go. Yeah, that seems like a good
All right.
time for everyone. So what, it'll be...
And then it leads to 4 against the Mets. Sweep!
Sweep? I like
Yes.
it. I like it.
Sweep the Mets.
I do want to get everyone ready for the programming. That'll be Thursday, September 21st. Please call in with your doomsday predictions that they get swept by the Mets at home.
Right.
So we'll do the doomsday show then.
3 Pittsburgh. Home. Sweep.
And it makes that last series.
And then then it doesn't matter.
Maybe they win 1 of 3 there up in New York because they're not trying.
Right. So you would have, they would then take that 9 and 10, and then they would be 16 and 10.
16 and 10. So that would put them right now win
And
wise
with the last
80,
4,
8 going to the last 3. Is that how that would work? They got up to 88 wins going in the last 3 against the Mets.
and they would be at 88, and then maybe could they get into 90?
They get to 90.
88 does it.
Yeah. 88 matches. Well, no, last year was 87.
Yeah, 88 does it.
Yeah. I thought they were going to win 90, so I feel good with the going into last weekend chance to get to 90.
You know what's going to be awesome? Flat out awesome. Is that we'll have a big month of Phillies to like arc toward October. And then I'm hurt. Ow!
It's going to be so great.
Like you got Phillies, Eagles. Like, it is a great month. Like and then Sixers Flyers start in October.
So there's
it's the best time of the year.
A 3-day stretch at the beginning of October. I saw this on Twitter yesterday. October 1st, you get Commanders Eagles. October 2nd, training camp begins for the Sixers. And October 3rd is when the wild card series begins for baseball.
Yeah, it's
It's going to be chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible, man. We're going to be incredible. All right, let's get it started. Jimmy, you're on 97.5, the Fanatic. Jimmy.
Yo, cuz.
What is it, Jim?
Hey, great to meet you on Saturday. How'd the boys like the cards?
Oh, Jimmy, thank you, buddy. Yeah, they loved them. Jimmy gave me, Dickie Dunn, Jimmy gave me a handful of great cards. Jalen Hurts, Harper.
That's
it was
nice.
awesome. And he even gave me a Darryl Dawkins old school.
That's a strong move.
It was awesome. Thank you, brother. Kids loved it. They said, thank you, Mr. Jimmy.
We talked about that and getting into the cards and stuff like that, so I figured it was only right to get them started.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I had a great time Saturday. Saturday was awesome. But now it's on to business. So I feel like we have kind of like a bye week real early because this next weekend we have nothing. But I'm waiting for September 10th. I can't wait. And the Hood's going to come in here, or the Hood is going to get dealt. I don't see. I saw some predictions. I saw some weird predictions and stuff like that. But I still think we're the top team in the NFC, and until somebody takes us out, which I don't see anybody doing, I think we repeat.
Dude, I agree. I keep looking at it. I mean, I think we're all kind of in the same boat. Like, you look at this thing, and it's not green goggles, right? It's not homerism. If you look at it objectively, that team is ridiculous.
Yeah, and
we could talk about linebackers, and we could talk about safety, and then special teams. These other teams have huge issues.
Well, yeah, and everybody in San Francisco talks about, but we got the best defense. Okay, but you don't have a quarterback. I don't believe. I think Brock Purdy's Colin Kaepernick 2.0 to the same team. He was good for 8 to 9 games, and he's going to come out, and they're going to find out he is what he is. He's the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, I think the kid can play a little bit, but again, he's not. He'll never be a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think you can, with their weapons. Like, if I look at it objectively, I think he's serviceable, but he's not going to be. He's not going to come in and be a top 10 quarterback in the league.
No, Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel
and Ayuk and Kittle.
Yeah,
they have a legitimate defense.
They're going to hide his flaws. That's what's going to happen. And now you traded away Trey Lance, which I don't believe in him, but now your only backup is Sam Darnold, who's failed 2 other places.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, man, that Lance goes to Dallas and Darnold is your backup. Darnold looks so bad in every which way.
That's my hot take of the year, too. I told all my Cowboys fans, I said, I bet you by the end of the season, Dakota's on the bench.
Oh, yeah? Well, you think by the end of it, it's pick up Lance? Is your man?
They picked him up for a reason.
I think it's one of those take a shot.
They don't believe in Dak. I think they don't. You don't throw the most interceptions in the league.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in Dak either. So I hear you.
Yeah.
I get you on that.
That team's in shambles, though.
I mean, look, I'm going to be objective, and I still think that they're the second best team in the NFC East. I mean, I don't think their defense is legit. I think adding Cooks to their offense, Pollard is a really good back.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I think, I'm not going to look at it objectively. I think the Eagles are better, but, I do think the Cowboys are probably the second best team.
I think that kid, if we're watching out for anybody, I'll tell you this, and I said it last year when he came in against us, watch out for that Sam Howell kid. I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
You like Sam Howell from North Carolina.
I think he's going to be
a Jahad Dotson.
Yeah, Jahad's my man. I live like 3 towns over from where he played high school ball.
Oh, get out! He's a good player. Yeah, I like Dotson. Listen, good stuff, my brother. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it, buddy. VT Ron, what is it, Ronnie?
Man, pots and pans, DD. What's going on? Hey,
what's up, my brother?
I apologize. I'm sorry we couldn't get up there. I had a wedding that I couldn't get out of. But I'll be up for the games. But hey, college football, we're already into that. This coming weekend's going to be stellar. Florida State, all those games. But I got to tell you, September in Philadelphia is going to be amazing. It's just going to be amazing. You got the Phils making a run, and with the Phils with the lineup from top to bottom, I don't care. You put Schwarber first, you put him at the three hole. They can hit the ball. Offensively, they are just even, if not a little better than Atlanta, as far as offense goes. Defensively, they're coming together. I mean, you watch some of the plays that Stotts made, that Bones made. They're amazing. They've gotten so much better.
Well, the one play that Bone made last week to start the double play was just incredible. I mean, he made a great play. And he made a great throw to start the 5-4-3 double play. It was last week.
The one where he crossed in front of Turner?
Yes. No. This was to his back end. He makes a great stop.
Well, do you remember?
I saw that one, too. The Turner one, too. Yep.
Oh, man, the defense that they can play that they're throwing at you, it's going to be stellar. And I like the way you're thinking. You know, they could get to 90. I really think they could get to 90. I really do. I really, really do. So, we'll see where that goes. And, college ball, Anthony, I was stuck on the TV. Last night I was actually watching Hawaii and Vanderbilt. Are you kidding me? I'm watching Hawaii and Vanderbilt, and this weekend it's going to be stellar. It's just going to be stellar.
Well, how about the Irish with Sam Hartman? He looked great. I know it's Navy, but that's all right.
I'm not an Irish guy. And Hartman, hey, Wake Forest is going to South Bend. I'm waiting for that game. I'm waiting for that game when Wake Forest goes to South Bend.
You got to admit, Hartman, I think Notre Dame's good. I think Hartman.
No.
Yeah.
No, the running back's legit.
Yeah.
The running back's legit. But I think there's some other teams on their schedule that's going to give them a few headaches.
Well, I mean, Notre Dame always plays a tough schedule, right? You got your SCs and your Michigans, I tell you this, depending on what they're going to do as far as realignment goes, I think at some point Notre Dame has got to go to a conference. They're a de facto ACC now, as you know.
They're de facto, but again, it doesn't count in football. So
I know, but they're basically playing. They're basically playing a bunch of ACC teams.
ACC schedule. Yeah, but does that mean they end up in the ACC if they realign and they decide to go to a conference? I don't know.
So automatically, I mean, look at him. This guy just pulled it up, right? They got NC State. Oh, by the way, Ohio State this year, which is going to be amazing. Yeah. They got Duke, Louisville, Southern Cal, the Clemson, right? I mean, that's all Wake. That's all ACC anyway, but most of them ACC guys anyway.
And a legit schedule on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
So listen. I got a whole bunch of buddies going to the South Carolina, North Carolina, the Battle of the Border this weekend. I wish I could.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. So, hey, listen, Ant, it's starting, buddy. Here comes the greatness. The greatness is coming right now.
Yeah, let's make it slow down, right? Let's make it slow down.
Man. Yeah, man. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for calling you and talking about the Birds and talking about college ball and talking about our Phils.
Love it, buddy.
On that one, go Birds, go Phils.
Go Birds, go Phils. I love it. I love it. Dickie Dodd, open the vault.
When we began opening this vault nearly 2 hours ago, we had no real idea what we'd find inside. As it turns out, we haven't found very much.
All right, the vault. Presented by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
Heavy baseball today. Heavy baseball. Yeah, great weekend for the Phils. And I was so just in love with the Ode to Chooch on Friday that I kind of passed over what was a nice weekend of 2 anniversaries of walk-offs and the birthday of a pretty important Philly in history. So I wanted to make sure everyone got their fair due here. I want to start with you on what was the anniversary on Saturday of an iconic comeback. The Phillies trailing 7-0 to the Mets in 2008 on August 26th worked their way all the way back. And Chris Coast had himself a game. Hey, we went Carlos on Friday.
It's Chris Coast. People loved Chris Coast. Oh, my God.
Here we go. The Coast Guard showing out against the Mets. Tie game 7-7.
Swing and a line drive towards straightaway center field. That's going to win it for the Phils. What a comeback. Down 7-0. The Phillies needed 13 innings and 4 hits off the bench for Chris Coast to win this one 8-7. Say hello to first place in the National League East once again for the Philadelphia Phillies. An 8-7 final here in the bottom of the 13th inning.
Wow, the Coast That's cool.
Now, from the coast, I take you all the way back to the year 2000. Bobby Abreu, step into the plate. And we love our Inside the Parkers, and we love our Harry Callis.
Abreu.
Here is Bobby Abreu walking it off with an Inside the Park home run, courtesy of HK.
Pretty well hit to center field. And it is off the glove of Murray. Watch Bobby. It could be an inside the park home run. Vukovic is waving him on. Here he comes. He's saved. An inside the park home run. Bobby Abreu. And the Phillies have won it 2-1 here in the 10th inning. What a way to end the ball game.
Wow, that was all. Oh, it was great too because I used to love the way Harry would say Bobby Abreu. That was awesome.
One of the great Harry names, and one of those plays that just kind of develop in a way that was so perfect for his style, where just the slow build to a dramatic ending.
Bobby Abreu.
So we got a bit of Harry here in the vault because yesterday was the birthday of Jim Thome, and I wanted to pay a little homage to Jim Thome. So we got plans.
Jim is like my son.
Yes. We do have him talking about Charlie at one point in here. We got him talking about a current Philly, which we'll get to at the end. But I wanted to get some highlights for you. We just went with some Harry. So I want to give you some more Harry because why not? How about Jim Thome hitting his first home runs as a Philly?
Well struck to deep left center. Watch that baby out of here. Jim Thome's first Philly home run is a 3-run shot, and he snaps that 0 for 13 in a big way. It's 13-2 fighting Phil.
Well, you talk about opposite field power. That ball looked like it came out of a cannon. He got a pitch, and he came out of that 0 for 13, like you said, Harry, in a big way. I think Thome would definitely go out there and take a curtain call, but when it's 13-2, it's, sometimes you have to
crowd's awesome, isn't it?
Burrow's going to step out now, and you don't want to show up the other team, but he does it just, in a very classy way, not to show anybody up, but he's going to acknowledge the fans, and that's the way he is.
Well hit. Watch this, baby. Could it be another one? Out of here. 2-run home run. Jim Thome to the opposite field. And the Phillies lead it 16-2. Wow, the big guy. His first 2 homers as a fighting Phil. They come back-to-back at bats.
Wow, the big guy. That's cool.
And it's cool listening to them debate the merits of him going out and giving the curtain call because you mentioned the crowd. The crowd is egging him on, and they are annihilating the Braves at that point. It's 13-2 when he hits that home run. And he's like trying.
And it's 16-2.
They're showing him weave through the dugout as he's trying to debate going up and giving them the recognition without showing up the Braves in a 13-2 game. Then he comes up his next at bat and it's another home run.
That's great.
But so that is the first 2 from Jim Thome. Another iconic one from his career with the Phillies was number 400. And this is how that sounded.
Could it be? Could it be? It is out of here! Number 400 for Jim Thome. Phillies have tied the game in the first and take a bow, big man. Here comes all the teammates coming out to home plate. There is no more popular player in Phillies history with his teammates than that big guy. Wife Andrea, daughter Lila, number 400. Wow. 2-2 game.
That was awesome. Daughter Lila. Nobody would personalize it like Harry.
So good.
I'll
be honest. I was ready to just go down the rabbit hole and just have Harry home run calls for an entire half hour. But I know we get nothing done.
How perfect, daughter Lila. That's great.
It was awesome. So that was 400. Now he comes back in 2012, and he actually set a major league record during his time back here in 2012, where he hits his 13th walk-off home run. Now he does it as a pinch hitter against the Rays. Jake McGee on the mound. This is how that sounded.
In the air to left field. Towering shot. Forget about it. He did it. Jim Thome, opposite field, pinch hit home run, and the Phillies have won it. A walk-off home run for Jim Thome. All the talk about whether he could do it off the bench. He's worked hard to make believers out of everyone, and he does, at least for this one day. And he also ties Sammy Sosa for number 7 on Major League Baseball's all-time home run list as the Phils win it 7-6.
Give you chills, boy.
Sure does.
That guy's throwing 95, 96, 97. He's fouling balls off. That was so hard what he just did. And you figured if he was going to hit a homer, it's going to have to be that way, and he crushes it the other way. Wow.
Every time he comes to the plate, you just soak it in because you're watching a first-ballot Hall of Famer and one of the greatest home run hitters of all time. And he just added to his resume by going opposite field to give his good friend Charlie Manuel his 900th career managerial win.
Wow. Think about that. A lot of wins for my man.
A lot of wins.
Yeah.
And a little love shown because Jim Thome comes back. Wall of Fame night. Talks about Philly, about building a winner. He was rooting for him. And, of course, a little bit about Charlie.
The day I signed here, they pulled out all the stops from the Flyers game to the contractors and the electricians that we got out of the car and thanked. I knew from that moment Philly was meant for me. It's a special privilege to wear the red and white pinstripes. The ownership here, from Bill Giles to David Montgomery to the Middleton and Buck families, you guys always have thrived on putting the winner on the field. But I think the most impressive part is what you do for ALS and what you give back to it off the game. So thank you. Ed Wade and Ruben Amaro for bringing me in here. I rooted for every one of those guys. My mentor, Charlie Manuel, my friend, my father figure. This man taught me everything about the game. And the night you guys celebrated was so special, you have no idea. So in a way, I was a part of that, believe it or not.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
Now we know how he feels about Charlie. Last one in here. I was doing some sifting around in the vault. And Jim Thome talked to ESPN in 2018 when he got elected to the Hall of Fame. And they went through a wide range of topics. It was like a 20, 25-minute discussion. They talked about the impending free agency class at that time. And he ended up going on a little bit of a tangent about Bryce Harper because Harper was having a little bit of struggle midway through that season in July. And he wanted to give his endorsement to the phenom that eventually would become a Philly. This is Jim Thome in 2018 talking Bryce Harper.
I mean, an incredible talent, I would say, right there with Trout, you know, like a face of our game. I think this kid passionately loves to succeed, and you can see it in the way he plays. He really goes out and plays the game how it should be played. And I think what he's going through now are the ups and downs of the game that every player learns. We talked earlier, and understanding that those ups and downs are, you know, you're going to go through that. And I think he's learning that. He had so much success early that at some point in every guy's career, you go through these phases, and this will make him better. He is an absolute fabulous player, and he's a lot of fun to watch. And this winter should be very interesting, too, with the free agency.
Wow, that's awesome.
Give it a little bit of his...
you geeking out. You told me geek out session today.
I was. I'll be honest. Last night I was hanging around post-show. I got to geek out over Thome. I got to do a little fantasy football draft from here. I was having myself a night here alone at the station. The lights may have kept turning off, but I was enjoying myself here.
Wait, you had a fantasy football?
Yes. Well.
Did go? You did well?
Yeah.
So I had one yesterday, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me and it was Mossy's buddies and the dads and everything. And so but I had to do it because Anthony had a game. So I had actually drafted on my phone while I was watching it on the sidelines watching Anthony's game.
Oh, you got like the split attention going on.
Yeah, which I wasn't. I still don't even realize who I drafted.
You got 6 quarterbacks, 2 receivers, 3 running backs. At least you didn't auto pick.
And I was like, oh man,
Sorry.
And I always wait till the end to do, kicker or defense.
Yeah, of course. Like any normal person does. There's always one person.
I was like, oh, damn, you got to pick a kicker to do. I always forget because I think the last drafts were like a DFS type of thing.
Right.
That's funny.
Well, my one friend has done away with the kicker. He's the commissioner. He was able to rally the votes. He did away with the kicker in the league. I don't want to kick.
Can I be honest with you? I would get rid of it. I think the kicker's ridiculous.
Listen,
I'd rather have defense, but who cares with the kicker?
Boy, do I have a friend for you to meet because he's leading the brigade against kickers in fantasy football.
I think they got to go. I agree. I like defense. I think kickers got to go.
Yeah, we added a flex spot to do it.
I'd much rather have a flex than a kicker.
Listen, I'll be honest. He rallied me as one of the votes to get rid of the kicker. Yeah. I was part of the vote them out, so
yeah,
I got no problem with it.
All right, let's take a quick TO. We'll get back to the phone lines in earnest now. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. That's how you reach us. Cuz Radio, Dickie Dunn right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies sweep the Cardinals. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by SleepHealthyPA.com. Do you snore? Maybe you think you have sleep apnea. Check out SleepHealthyPA.com. Finally, a sleep solution you've been looking for. That's sleep.
right, 11:21 on this Monday. This is always the calm week, right? This is always the week where everybody gets the last minute vacations in. Normally, I take off this week. I don't know what happened. I should have.
Hey, good to see you.
You know, I normally, but then I felt bad because everybody's taking off, so I'm like, I'll just work.
Yeah.
It was always like I always love taking off this week because you come back and it's football.
Especially with the Labor Day, you come in on Tuesday, you got just a couple days before it all gets started.
Right? It's the best, dude. It's the greatest.
This week is one of those where I'm just kind of pushing to get to next week. I'm like, come on. I want to be right in the zone for next week. I'm obviously, we could be fired up right now, but once I get past Labor Day, to me, that's, all right, give me some NFL. Give me some NFL right now. Right now, I feel like I'm just kind of stuck in the waiting phase because that's really happening.
You're not a college man, are you? Just TU, that's it?
This weekend, I'll find myself watching games.
I was going to ask you because there's some great games.
Oh, yeah, and this weekend, like you said, this weekend's loaded. Like, there will be ones where I find myself, because Sunday night, is that the LSU Florida State?
Yes.
I think that was one that I had circled of I got to watch.
That's an incredible game. So it's funny, right? I was talking about this Saturday. I think I stumbled onto a great idea for college football. I don't know if you they're expanding the playoffs, right? Coming up. So my idea is they're worried, like, what are we going to do with all the ancillary bowls? And I'm a weirdo. I like, you know what it is? I love it reminds me of the holidays.
Yes.
So I love the bowl games. Like, I love the whole, it's Capital One bowl week.
Oh, I love that too.
And then they have like the happy holidays and the whole thing. I freaking love it. I don't know why. It's the dumbest thing in the world, but I love the confluence of sports and the holidays. It's my favorite thing in the world. So I was thinking what they could do is there's so many of those bowl games, there's a million of them. What you could do is you could actually put the bowls at the beginning of the season. So you can actually have, there's a million of them, like New Mexico Bowl, the Idaho Potato Bowl, all these bowls. You could put the bowls in the beginning of the season. And so leading up, like this week, you could have bowl games every day. And they're all preseason, which you still keep the big postseason bowls, but the preseason, but then you move the ancillary ones that nobody really watches to the preseason, and you have them leading up all through this week and Labor Day weekend. Like you have games all day Sunday, Monday. You have 2 afternoon games all week. What do you think of that concept? You like that concept?
Yeah.
That's it.
But I like it. Right. Give me as much football, give me as much energy as I get on that one.
All right.
I'm a fan of the Cuz schedule.
All right. I'm a schedule man. I can't schedule anything in my own life, but I love sports.
But you like to set everyone else's. You'd like to set
I
the
like sports schedules.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're crazy. All right, let's go to my man, the June Bug. What is it, June Bug?
Hey, listen, thank you so much, man, for giving me those tickets, man. It was the greatest thing, man. I really appreciate it, and it's just great. Thank you.
I'm so happy you liked. You had a good time.
Oh, you kidding me? I took a picture with Ricky Patalico, Tyrone, Jen. It was just awesome, man.
June Bug. That's what it's about, right, brother?
Listen, man, you're the greatest, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother. What I love, June, is that everybody was like, where have you been to a place where you got, I don't know, 12, 15,000 people?
Yeah.
And no fights, no beefs.
No, it's all Philly fan. It's Philly love, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Philly love. And listen, I had a good time with the concert. And that band is known for like 20 years. I mean, I knew that band for a long time.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't know it was that band. And I heard the, that song. Oh, it was the whole event was one of the greatest events I ever been. It's my first fan fest. It was a tremendous thing. I really enjoyed it, and I'd like to thank you from the bottom line.
Brother, your enjoyment is my thanks, man. That's freaking awesome, brother. I love it.
That was the greatest birthday gift anybody can have. You kidding me?
That's cool, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, my brother.
I know one more thing about the Eagles.
Yes.
Man. I think you were right, Sidney Brown, but what happened when I made that comment, it was just Malcolm Jenkins, before he played safety, he played cornerback. That's why I said that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I made
the comparison, the comp. Yeah.
But no, the Eagles going to do great, and we're going to win. I think we're going to win this year. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback around. I mean, every year he gets better. We're just going to win the Super Bowl. That's what I think in my heart.
You feeling it? You feeling it?
I'm feeling it. Yeah, heck yeah. I think this is the year. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to do pretty good. Our defense, is unstoppable. You know what I mean? I
think the offense unstoppable for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that defense, that was just going to crush the other team. That's what I meant by that. Yeah.
I like it, buddy. Junebug, what a pleasure, my brother.
Oh, it's pleasure is all mine.
Thanks,
pleasure
buddy.
Is all mine. Thank you.
See you, brother. That's awesome. Look at that. Isn't that cool? We had a great time, Dickie Dunn. He had a great time. That's fantastic.
We love it. I'm loving all the Fan Fest stories. I'm liking to hear how everyone did and how everyone enjoyed it. Because, like I said, I had a blast.
What'd your mom and dad say?
Oh, God, they had a great time. They were looking around the same way I was around 5 o'clock. This is it. It's over. Let's do this. Let's keep partying. Let's have a couple more hours. They're my parents, after all. They want the party to continue.
Your mother's funny. We talked about the interfan. You're the product of an interfan marriage.
Yes.
Your mom's New York. Your dad's Philadelphia. And so you're right. You're the product of that marriage. Your mother's for real fan, though.
Yeah.
She's no fugazi.
No, she's not faking it.
You know who else is not faking it? She's the greatest. And she began her new chapter in her life on Friday. We love her. She, of course, is the great Edith from Chester. Good morning, Edith.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Fan Fest was amazing.
Congratulations, sweetheart.
Yes, I had such a good time with you guys, and it was well put together. I loved it. I got pictures with everybody, and people came up to me and said, "Are you Edith?" And I said, yes. Oh, my God, I love it. You're awesome. I listen to you. I don't get to call in, but I listen to you. It made my heart swell.
Oh, how great is that?
Seeing you and Tunis, Dickie, I'm sorry I don't think I got to meet you.
Yeah.
You did not, but we got plenty of time.
You got to meet Edith.
Yeah, I know, I do.
I don't think I got to meet him. If you see me, I had the green tinsel hair. The only one out there with the green tinsel hair and the green eyelashes.
That's her look.
I like it.
She is an amazing Eagle fan. I mean, I was doing the other show at the other station years and years ago, and you were there always.
Oh, look, Anthony, I was so upset when you left there. Man, let me tell you something. How they did you? Nah, I was upset. I was ready to get a group together and pick at that place, man. But yep, it was. And how's the Phillies? Ain't they looking good?
Yeah, how about Nola Wheeler back to back?
Yeah.
That was a good weekend.
Yes.
Sweep.
Yeah, my husband was happy. Yep. And we won the World Series, United States. Yeah. We won the World Series. I mean, this was a great weekend, a great time. Fan Fest, man, I'm telling you, y'all did your thing. It was so well organized, and just like you said, everybody got along.
Yeah.
No fuss and no muss. It's just a wonderful, wonderful venue to come to. I've been coming to it for, I don't even know how many years I've been coming to it. Probably 9, 10, something like that. 8. It's been a long time. So I'm just so grateful that you guys are able to do that, and all the fans appreciate it. And we love you. And Andrew, you keep that coop together, boy. He's going to be special.
That's beautiful.
Love
Edith.
y'all. Love you guys.
Now, I got one final question for you. On Friday, it was your last day of work.
Yes.
You have retired.
I have retired.
So what is your plans?
Well, now I think I'm going to try to. Well, I'm taking care of my mom. You know, she's 91 now, so I'm
God bless.
helping without her. And I think I want to go mentor some of the kids in some of the schools because our children are really lost. I feel like you know the universal sign was the pole light. When that pole light came on, I didn't care what neighborhood you came from, what color you were. That meant come home or be home or else.
Yes.
And they don't have that anymore. I mean, they don't have that consistency, and the teachers are overwhelmed in the school. So I have an elementary school nearby where I live, so I'm going to go down there and talk to the principal, see if I can come in and mentor some of the kids and give them some hugs in the morning and try to encourage them to be their best. They're important. They're our future. That's what I think my next thing is going to do.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I really do.
That's what I really would like to do. And I would also like to work with the Eagles. I would like to greet them players when they coming in. Be an ambassador. Greet them when the young boys come in to sign them contracts at the NovaCare Center when that car pull up.
You would be great at that.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm going to nurture you and look after you. You don't have to worry. That's right. Y'all making this money. You're going to stay straight. If my mom's not around, you got my mom right here.
Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, that would be a great job for you.
It would.
Team my mom.
The team my mom. Let me tell you, that's right. Y'all come, you need something, I got you. You step out of line, I got you.
And you keep all you keep all the skeezers away.
That's right. Y'all ain't going to the strip club tonight. Y'all got to practice.
Oh, that's hysterical. Edith, we love you. Thank you for coming on Saturday.
Thank you.
See you, babe. Take it easy. That's classic. Absolutely classic. All right. So if you recall on Friday, we had the Friday Five, but we never got to the Friday Five. Never got to it.
No.
And we were so swamped. We had a bunch of stuff going on, a lot of guests and everything. So I had the questions, and I don't want to lose them. And it's a perfect day because it's a kind of a good Monday, kind of just have some fun and be light. So we're going to do our Monday, we'll call it the Weekend Five, all right? These are the Friday Five questions. So do you have your answers from Friday? Because you never gave me your answers.
That's right. I think they might be in the bag over there. Otherwise, because I know I always like to write down your questions, think about them, and give you a thought-out answer. But
right.
I can roll through and try and go off the top of my brain.
You should be able to remember them, right?
Because thinking on the fly is a big piece of this job. So here's a test for me.
All right. Well, here we go. So it is the five. You want to take the five today, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. All right. The first question is, you can play any sport, right? What position, what team, it's your dream player, right? You can be a quarterback for the Eagles, right? Any of that stuff, all right? So it's your dream sport and position and team, okay? And the second part of that question is, well, let's start there. Who you got?
I'm playing center field for the Phillies.
Are you really?
Yeah. Love playing the outfield.
Now batting for the Phillies.
Yep.
Center fielder, Dickie Dunn.
Be great. Sign me up.
All
Please.
Right.
I'll do it.
All right. You could be coach or GM, any sport, any team. This is the second part of that question. What do you got?
I might go college hoops and tell you I would want to be Temple head coach.
Temple hoops?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great answer.
I think I kind of would want to go that route. Tradition, obviously love the school. Excited for Coach Fish, so I'm not coming for your job, but, that would be a...
But you are coming for his job?
But basically what I'm saying is I'm coming... No. Yeah, I think that'd be a cool position. I would want that, especially the history of the head coach at that university. It's been very few that have been able to hold that position. So that'd be a cool job to have.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. All right, question number 2. We were talking about this in relation to there's a new bar on Sansom Street, and there are no bartenders in the bar. There's no bartenders. It's like you just go taps, it's credit card and whole thing. I quite frankly hate the concept. I love promoting new business ideas, and everything else, but I hate the concept because anything that devalues people, I'm against. I'm still one of the final people that does not have Easy Pass. I cross the bridge every day. I live in Jersey now. I cross the bridge every day. I refuse to get Easy Pass because I feel like it's my duty to support the toll people. Because I love the toll people. Every day, you're on the phone with me.
Yep.
I have conversations with the toll people every day.
Every once in a while, but what I say, what spurred that on? Then I hear the toll person in the background responding to him. Oh, okay. He's talking to the toll person. First couple times, it's like, whoa, you kind of do that. Who's Anthony talking to?
Yeah, is he
talking to himself?
Is he talking to himself in the car?
Yeah. I was
like, there's something weird about that, you're thinking.
Yeah, I get a little worried, but then I realized, oh, no, he's just talking to the toll person. Have a nice little back and forth. Now I'm used to it. First couple times, just whoa.
Yeah, it's probably weird. But I'm a big fan of I love people. So,
right.
Like, anything that devalues people, like, listen, AI can do some great things for all of us. However, it also is a detriment to people. And so I hate this concept of the bartenderless, bar. I just don't get it. Give me something that is new, that works, and something new that doesn't work. There's plenty of things now that are half cheat codes, brilliant things, fun things. Like, to me, something now that works is all those streaming platforms. Like, the fact that I can get whatever show, there's all kinds of great things. Like, I love TV's better than it's ever been. What do you got?
I mean, I would say that probably right about that. By the way, I'll have something for you in a little bit about what I watched.
Oh, good.
What's new that works? This weekend at FanFest, I used a rideshare app to get down there, and I thought about it in the context of what we're talking about. Not that they're brand new, but I also can't imagine my life without them now that they're here. And I tried to envision what it would be like for me to get down there without them, and the timing of those rideshare apps. So for me, that's something newer that works for me. Something that does not for me is X. The platform has gotten worse.
Really?
Yes. I got too many of the bots. And you know what type of bots in my DMs. Are you lonely?
Oh, dude, I got to tell you, it's so ridiculously annoying.
Are you
delete? It's unbelievable. And by the way, you know what else? In LinkedIn, there's a whole scam. I don't know if you know about this.
No.
I heard about this thing. My buddy Vinny was telling. He's like, how come I have an inordinate amount of Asian women reaching out to me to connect?
Oh.
And it's this whole scam.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know about that.
Yes.
They have missed my LinkedIn profile, but I did notice my searches were up, so maybe people are finding me. They're just not connect. They took a look at the pictures, like, we can find a better one to connect
Yes.
with.
There's scammers use pictures of Asian women.
Interesting.
To try to, entice you, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's in LinkedIn, like it's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's
but same thing with X. It's horrible.
My request is 18 plus and looking for a fun time. Click here. It's like no. What about my profile has said anything about that?
That's a good answer. That's actually a great answer.
Yeah, I just don't like the bots, man. Get out of my DMs.
What was it? It was called something. There's a name for it. Oh, what was it called? I gotta find it. But it's like a scam. It's a big scam.
Yeah, they're after me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not lonely. I'm 18 plus. But
So X does not work for you.
Yeah, I
What
don't like
does work for you?
I said the rideshare apps.
Oh yeah.
Those are a game changer. I realized that as all my friends were dispersing from FanFest, I was like, I don't know what all you would do without Uber. So we would be trying to get you onto some regional rail, or we'd be trying to get you moving around here. It would be a lot more difficult to get you back where you came from.
No, I agree. No, you're spot on. All right. We'll unveil the next three of the questions, and then we'll give you guys a chance to line up and take it and have some fun, little fun discourse today on a Monday. Now we're in countdown mode. Put the X's, speaking of X, put the X's through the rest of the calendar leading up to the start of the NFL. Just 1 week from Thursday. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. It's Cuz Radio. Dickie Dunn right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. Hey, let's talk about your sleep health. because I want to try to get as many sports as possible. And you got a story, you got a kid, you want to be on it, you just reach out to me, send me a DM at Anthony Lewis Gargano on Instagram or Anthony L. Gargano on X, and we'll kind of work it out. So it's a real good passion project that I'm launching, and it's going to be all about youth sports in our area. So it's YouTube, it'll be a podcast, the whole thing. And I love it because one thing I love, we just saw the Little League World Series and all the stuff going on. I love highlighting the kids, but also for the parents, they need tools and advice and what to do. There's things I don't know. I've been covering professional sports my whole life, and there's things in youth sports that I didn't know. So I think it's a good tool for parents.
Whole world out there to find with youth sports. Got to be guided in the right direction with a lot of what goes on. So
I know. I mean, incredible stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I know how much that you love the journey right now. Your kids' youth sports, and I'm sure sharing that with everyone is going to be a lot of fun.
I know. I do. I love it. All right, let's get back to our 5. So, question number 3 is this. What's your current beef? It could be with a person, a thing, an entity. I mean, you name it. But what is your current beef right now?
I think on Friday it was going to be the Cardinals because I was annoyed just at their existence.
It doesn't need to be sports. It could be anything in life.
Oh, no. My grocery store. I'm having an issue. I'm having a consistent issue where I'm going where, everything's now self-checkout. And
it's just like the bartenderless bar.
Right, which also, I meant to tell you this with that. There was an option. My girlfriend and I went to one bar similar in idea to what that is, but they had one bartender all the way at the back of the place. We ignored all the taps, went all the way to the back to the bartender because I need the same thing. I need the same things. I need to talk to people. I don't like the whole just serve yourself and sit down. I think it's all, if I go out, I kind of want to have the little back and forth with a server and sit there and have conversation. So I'm with you with the bartender thing. I can't do the bartenderless bar. Doesn't make sense to me.
Bartenders, listen, I mean, that whole thing is a fun, it's a great gig. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel it's great. Like, I can't imagine how impersonal. Now, I didn't go, but to me, it feels soulless. It feels like it's so impersonal that it would really bother me.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. So I'm right there with you on that one. But I went to one that had a similar setup, but when we got there, we found there was a bartender in the back, and we were able to, again, not the one that's currently open, but a different one. But regardless, my problem with the grocery store. Beef with the grocery store. One, I can never remember the reusable bags, which always gets me. I always end up with it. But the grocery store now with the self-checkout, there's just kind of nobody there to help the process go along. Yeah. And I'm trying to get myself through. And meanwhile, there are two things. There's the beef with the...
That's funny you said that. Dude, I never do. I don't know what it is. Now, maybe it's just... I don't know. I like because I love... even in the supermarket, I go to the ShopRite all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, I don't do the big shop. Tam does the big shop.
Right.
I do the little shop.
I'm the big shopsman.
You're a big shopsman?
Yes.
I do the little shop. So, but I never, and you would think if I do the little shop that I would go, self-checkout.
Right.
But I don't do it. I hate it.
You a 15 items or less type of guy with someone standing there?
Yeah, I go to the, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't have that option. They have gotten rid of, there's not been the last couple times I've gone anyone to check me out. So I have to go to the self-checkout, and I'm trying to be a little bit healthy, I'm trying to eat some fruit, get some vegetables, start to cook a little bit, have some fun. I need people to enter the codes for me here because I'm going through the codes. They don't have anything in there. So it becomes a whole process of, because, when you had people that were doing checkout, this is 4871. That's the onions you're getting. Now I got to search the entire thing. I'm not qualified to run the checkout thing. I worked at pizza. I know how to operate the system that I operate when I worked in that, but I don't know how to operate their grocery thing. So I'm going through the grocery thing. I'm trying to sit there. And then the thing has the nerve Every time you do so, oh, you saved 15 cents. It's like, I'm going to end up paying $100-something for this, and I saved $2. And you're like, kind of, I feel like you're mocking me a little bit with the, oh, you saved 20 cents. So did I really save 20 cents? Because this is 50 cents more expensive than the last time I bought it. Did I save 20 cents, or are you just giving me the illusion that I saved $2 here at your grocery store? But the entire grocery store experience for me right now is a big beef because I consistently go there when I'm hungry, which is a mistake.
Oh, dude, that's rule one.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
Now, my wife, like, I don't have, grocery skills, right? But she's like, do not and never go when you're hungry.
But
it's the worst.
I'm a shop to survive type of guy. I don't shop until we've gotten to the point where I am out of food, where I have gone from the last grocery shop. Like, I'm hitting that point right now, where I've hit the point of my last grocery shop. We have run thin on just about everything. I went to make breakfast this morning, and I was like, I'm going to stop somewhere on the way into work because I was like, I've hit the end of my grocery shelf life of everything I bought the last time. I'm a shop to survive, which always means I go when I'm hungry because I'm out of food. And that has been a big problem for me. And then the mocking. It's just a kind of a mock. Oh, you saved $2.57. Your total is $135.
Yeah, it's a bit of a violation. They ought to do it at the end, right?
Yeah,
they do it after every item.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is more expensive than last week, but you saved 15 cents.
Right.
And at the end of it, my bill is $100-something plus, and it's like, well, you saved $2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate you sparing me those $2.
That's a good beef, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a good beef.
I just don't like the grocery store.
And I don't like the self checkout either.
Yeah, well, I have no choice.
I'd rather, and I've done this, which is stupid, but I'd rather wait in a line with a person to check me out than go to the self checkout.
I'd just be waiting a long time. And they're not coming back to mine, I don't think.
So you have none of them?
I haven't seen anyone there.
Really?
But all self-checkout. And
where at?
Northern Liberties.
It's all self-checkout?
Uh-huh. One of the grocery stores there, yeah.
Wow. Which one is it?
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
You're not doing that.
Well, we might have things that sometimes I talk about them when we do certain parts of what we do over 4 hours here. I don't want to take any shots.
I'm not asking to take shots. I'm just wondering, what it is. Like, is it all their stores?
It's just that's the one I go to. So I'm very, it's the most convenient one for me. I can drive home.
I hate this. I hate the concept of the all self checkout.
Yeah, we're for the people here.
There was there's a whole new store, these smart stores or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I don't like it. It's all impersonal. Just take away all people.
I got to be honest. I feel weird with the whole, swipe your card, walk in, grab it, and it's going to keep track of what I'm grabbing. Like, right. I'm not shoplifting. I'm not out here stuffing the pockets and running away. I don't know, man. What if I swipe my card and you actually track me as the guy next to me who's, got the big pocket?
In truth, it's not like there's not a million glitches.
Right.
Right? Like, there's always glitches.
Yeah. I walk in, I don't know. I walk in at the same time as Harper. Harper's going to go get some nice meats, some nice, he's got the deep pockets. Me, I'm just trying to get a little something. I don't want to be confused. And Harper's the only person I come up with in the area that I know is, the deep pockets. But a number of people, I don't want to be the one that's paying for someone else's bill if I just do the little tap and walk in.
I got you.
Kind of concerning for me.
All right, here you go. What are you currently obsessed with? I brought this up to you on Friday. It's my watermelon cocktail.
For me, exploring the city. I love when I'm on a day off, I just start walking. I'll walk through as many neighborhoods, many different.
Man, really? Yeah. I love that.
I like just going through. I know, the amount of time I'll spend living in the city. I don't know how long it'll be, whether it'll stay in the city, go out of the city. So I like to see as much. And there's just a ton of history. So I love going to find the blue signs and reading about what happened here 300 years ago. And then just seeing different spots. If I find a little coffee shop, walk in, get a cup of coffee, get to talk to people, which again helps. Finding maybe a little sandwich shop I like. So I like kind of wandering around and finding some new spots, finding some new places because I genuinely really love where I live. So I like to
Dude, that's
find
fantastic.
some more. Yeah. So that's what I'm obsessed with right now.
You know that is called, like in Italy, they call it the passeggiata. And it's a walk, a beautiful walk.
It is a beautiful walk.
And I love the fact that you do that.
Yeah.
Because I used to always love doing that. When I was living in the city, I loved it, man. We walk everywhere.
Yeah, I love walking in the old city and going up and down, and there's plenty of places I could stop up and there.
That's a good obsession.
Yeah, it's a nice, fun thing I get to do when I have a little time.
I like it. All right, now finally, this is an interesting one because you are the product.
Mm-hmm.
What is the rule when it comes to being a product of interfan marriage?
So it's fine. I had a chat about someone about this.
Like, what's the rule? Like, again, if two people get together and one is an Eagle fan and one, like in your case, like your mother's a Giant fan, and she's not a fraud, like she's a legit Giant fan from New York, from Greenwich Village.
Yes.
By the way, I still can't believe you didn't see half of these movies.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, what's the rule for the interfan marriage when it comes to the children and the whole thing?
I think you are entitled to your propaganda campaign, but I think it becomes very territorial, becomes very area-based. And I think you are entitled to go after and try and make your kids the fan of whatever you are. But I think ultimately geography does a number on this. Like, I think my dad got out ahead with the propaganda campaign, and he also had the benefit of geography. And I think that was a really strong hold on what ended up happening.
Did you ever, like, it's interesting because I'm with you. Like, the geography, like, to me, the geography is everything. Like, where they're a citizen. Like, if you were born here, correct?
Yes.
So you were a citizen of the land.
Correct.
So you were a 4-for-4 baby. That's your birthright. You were born here.
That I was.
Now, I feel bad for some people because it happens a lot. Whereas, you know, like if dad's living, he falls in love, and he was in L.A., right? Met a girl. Next thing you know, he's living out there. But he's such a 4-for-4 man. And he's trying to figure out, how do I save the souls of my unborn children? Like, if you're on the road and you met your wife from somewhere else, like Chicago, and it's a real sports town, that's the uphill battle.
You got to make the fight early. You got to really, really get out in front of that one. I had this conversation with a good friend of mine. A friend of my girlfriend's become friends with the couple. They are a married couple. They have one kid right now, and he was telling me, like, hey, I kind of won because we're in Jersey. We're right near Philadelphia. His wife is a Patriot, is a New England, Boston sports fan. So he fell in love. He's got the interfan marriage. But since they live in Jersey, he's like, I've won the argument. I told her, I was like, do you want our kids to have friends that have similar interests? Like, they're going to be Philadelphia sports fans. He's like, if I was up in Boston area, I'd be fighting to make them Eagles fans. But he's like, I won area-wise. He's like, I'm going to be able to raise them Eagles fans and Philadelphia sports fans, and I feel safe about that. So he saw it as a very territorial thing, where geography, you think about the kid and the outside influences of outside your home, and you get into being a fan, you know, kind of by the nature of, you know, the tribalness of what we do here in sports fandom.
Correct.
So I think I liked his argument because I never thought of it as much about geography until I talked to him about it. And then we really got into that. And I think that's a big piece of all this.
You know, it's interesting because the other aspect of it, you know, it's the truth. But the other aspect of it as well is I got a buddy of mine, and you've heard him, Boston Hater Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives here with his family. His wife is from New England, but her parents are very active, and they're huge Boston sports fans, and they have infiltrated his kids. She will take him up in the summertime to the Cape, and if he can't go because he's working a second job, he's a teacher, you know, he's up against it, and he's fighting. And he was up against the specter of Brady for all those years. And the Celtics and the Bruins and the Red Sox. That's difficult. And he was losing the battle, even though he lives here with his family.
It's a tough world. Like the spectacle of Brady fighting with all that, even being here is tough. The New England, the Boston aspect of all that, I can only imagine if I had the family members tugging at me, hey, come on, look what we got. Look at all the wins. Let's get us up here. But I feel to be Boston hater Matt too and be in that position, irony is cruel sometimes. It's a real cruel thing for him on that one. Trying to.
And is there grounds for divorce? Like Tyrone said, yes. Is there grounds for divorce? Are there issues? Like, what is it? This is tough.
I think he might have a case. He could have a case on that one.
The May Kuhn, who I love, says they turn it's all about geography. All about geography. Wow. Interesting stuff.
Very interesting.
All right. We're going to get to your point. We'll open up the phone lines again coming up next. And there is a particular Eagle who may be looking for a trade out of Philadelphia. We'll tell you who and why coming up next. Here's the numbers. You get a couple lines you can get in. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. It's Cuz Radio. My man Dickie Dunn, Tunis on vacation as we hang out on a Monday right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about the Bet Parks app, shall we? Yes, it's Bet Parks Monday. All kinds of foot
The Fanatic.
All right, 12:20. Our 12 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends at Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Give it 0% financing for 72 months, $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. My man, we're doing all the Friday 5 or the Monday 5 because we didn't do the questions from Friday are open. All right, they're all open. Obviously, we're centering on because it's really interesting, and because Dickie Dunn is a product of interfan marriage. But my man Hutch has a beef. The beef is with the person that doesn't say thank you after you hold the door for him. And he goes, I immediately say you're welcome afterwards. I'm so with you, Hutch. I hate that. Like, you hold the door, first thing you got to say is thanks.
I'll follow up with that. The courtesy wave when someone lets you cross the street.
Or you get in the lane.
Yeah, also that. We have gotten away from that as a society. There are less courtesy waves. I don't need you to stop by me a bouquet of flowers and thank me for letting me in the lane. But
yellow thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not too much there.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, a little quality courtesy wave. I think we need a little bit more of that on our roadways.
Yeah, I mean, you could do the top. You could do 50 beefs driving.
No, easy.
It's the worst.
My commute.
If it was up to me, I would never drive ever.
I agree with that.
I hate driving.
And I have said to people before that the short drive, to me, is one of the more pointless things in the world. I could do a road trip, but the short drive, to me, is just brutal. I can't do the 15, the 20-minute, the 30. It just, I got to get in the car. I'm going to be out of the car. And any time that I think it's going to be a short drive and I get the most minor inconvenience, bothers me. Because this is supposed to be a short drive.
Yes.
It's supposed to be close. I'm not going far. I could do the long road trip, but the short drive for me is brutal. That's why I love exploring. I also love walking everywhere. I got things I got to get to. Like when I play softball, the league I'm in the summer, there's one of them that's the walk up the street for me that I can go to softball. It's the best thing in the world. Or when I'm playing down at the Navy Yard, I walk my way to public transit down to South Philly because I don't want to do the drive. I really don't. I hate it. I hate doing the short drive.
Listen. And I just hate driving, period.
Mm-hmm.
Short, long, middle, in between. It's the worst. The other day, I'm driving, and it's traffic. It's the freaking Schuylkill.
Yep,
right?
Always.
And this dude, I'm watching him. It's traffic, and he's tailgating. Like, he'll get in the one-lane tailgate, then get in the other lane's tailgating. Like, dude, like, what do you think's going to happen? You going to go through the guy? There's traffic. Stay a respectable way behind the guy. These people, some of these people need a slap.
I'm a fan of the retest. We retest some of our drivers. Some of you.
It's not even the test as much as it's the out-of-line disrespect. Like, the tailgate is ridiculous.
Yes. Now, I will say,
the
slow driver in the left lane is also awful.
Then it's up to them. Like, they get what they reap what they sow.
Right.
You don't belong there. You can't camp out in that lane. But I'm just talking about in general. Your tailgate, there's traffic. You can't tailgate somebody in traffic.
Right.
Especially riding their bumper. It's like, dude, because here's the other problem. In traffic, I'm going to probably have to brake. And that means you keep riding my bumper, you're going to hit me, jerk off.
Going to be in my trunk pretty soon.
Oh, it drives me nuts. The road rage is terrible.
Oh, yeah. No.
I just want nothing to do with it.
Really? I want nothing to do with the roads.
I want nothing to do with them. I agree.
I stay far away.
I want nothing to do with the roads.
If I didn't have to drive here, I don't know how much driving I would do.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm completely with you. All right. Let's get to the phone lines. We got a lot of people. We got the interfan marriages are on display today as a topic. Benny is in Doylestown. Ben, good afternoon, buddy.
What's up, cuz? How are you?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. First let me say I met you a few years ago. You're a stand-up dude. You represent the city, and you spent about 10 minutes talking with me, and you didn't have to. So, it just goes to show who you are. I love your show.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. So,
yeah, I'm a born and raised Giants guy, right?
Yeah.
And my father, my grandparents. I call myself a 3-for-4 guy. I'm all about the Phillies. I've been going to their spring training in the 90s with my grandparents when I was a kid, so that was easy. Sixers was easy, being a Knicks fan, but I'm from upstate New York. I didn't live in the city. The thing about Philadelphia is to be a fan, it's so contagious.
Right,
when you live here. I've been here 15 years. I mean, I am an Eagles fan in a sense. I wore my blue hoodie when we played, and the next day I had my green on because I had to represent the city.
See, I understand that. Like, I get for someone that moved here from a different region, and it's hard not to get swept up, and I'm with you. Like, you chose to live in the region. You've been here 15 years, so you chose to be, one of us. And I also understand.
And I tell I tell people from back home, I'm a Philadelphian now. That's just how it is. That's how I feel, at least.
And especially, and I understand too, like your childhood team it's hard. It's hard to just, give them up. Like I get that.
But I'm not, and I don't force the Giants on my daughter. She's an Eagles fan. I'm not going to fight that. The region demographic has a lot to do with it, where you live. But now, your wife an Eagles fan? Is she like? Yeah. Does she like it? My whole extended family, all Eagles.
Yeah. See, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. It's the way it should be.
Well, and I love the fact. Listen, and I completely understand. Like when you make a commitment to a region, we've had a lot of people that that found their way here and made a life for themselves here.
Absolutely.
So, to be a part of the community, sports is such a big part of it that you're going to want to root for the local teams, but you still got that pang of your childhood squad.
Exactly.
I get that. I do. It's the fake 3-for-4 people that bother me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
When I'm at the Eagles games, I've got a green hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? I'm there to represent, and that's really.
Well, you're a good man. I mean, you're a good parent. You show your daughter the right way.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's all we can do, right?
That's it, brother. Good stuff, man. Thanks, Benny.
Hey.
Appreciate it, brother. See, that's like I understand people that were raised somewhere else and they come here later in life. And then you come here and you want to get swept up in it.
See how good it is, how much fun we have.
See, I used to be stubborn. I was always, you should always root for your team. Don't worry about rooting for my team. But when you make a commitment to a region, I think they deserve, especially these people that have been here for multiple years and going on decades, they're one of us. Like, they chose to live here. I remember I used to work with Glenn, and Glenn was raised in Buffalo, Glenn Macnow. And Glenn was like, listen, I could raise my family anywhere. I chose to live in Philadelphia, and I love the region. Therefore, the teams became mine, and I raised my kids to be, Philadelphia sports fans. And that makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense. Again, a lot of this makes sense to me just because it's the nature of how I grew up. Like, to me, the whole family being in on one team, that's more the foreign concept to me. I'm used to, it's a December Eagles-Giants game. Well, we're going to be battling with mom, and at some point we're going to get on the phone with my cousins, aunt, uncle, and there's going to be a little bit back and forth over that. Or when they come down for Christmas, we're going to be recapping everything that happened, and we'll be talking smack. Like, to me, the inner fandom thing is always something that's been my reality. So the people that have the whole family as Eagles fans, salute you. But it's never been the way that I grew up. So the way that people kind of attach themselves to this region is the way I feel like my family ended up going with, especially with the way my dad was going to raise. Again, he says we had no choice. He said his story. He's sticking to it. He said there was no choice. There was no way they were going to end up Giants fans. His kids were not going to end up Giants fans. He can, winners write history. So he won the war of the kids and their fandom. So he gets to write the history of how it happened. And he said we had no choice. So I'll believe him with that. But I think geography helped a lot with that, with just being swept up in the fervor, especially when I was younger with the Phils. I mean, I think they were my number one because when they go on that run, that's where I was really impressionable. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be a fan anywhere else.
Too. Like, what's interesting is that the people, like the grandparents, like people that are inside the family circle that have a great kind of got sway on the children. Like that's what my man Boston hater Matt was up against.
Mm-hmm.
Like the wife would take the kids up to Boston, and they take him to the Cape and all this other stuff, and he's stuck.
And the gifts,
he's stuck.
You gift the jersey, you gift the shirt.
Right.
What are you going to do? Not wear what your grandparents gave you? I think that's that's another one of the big. If you want to start early, if I'm giving advice to anyone trying to convert or create.
That's right.
Oh, what? You're not going to wear the Eagles jersey that Pop-Up gave you? No, you're going to wear it.
Like you feel bad.
Yeah, you like the Eagles.
Right.
Eagles are good.
That's it. Let's go to Justin. You're on 97.5, the Fanatic Just.
Yo, cuz.
Yo, Just.
All right. Listen here. So, me and my family grew up in Philly, right?
Uh-huh.
Brother and sister, they moved up to Massachusetts probably like 5-6 years ago. My brother, we're 4 for 4s. We're born and raised in Philly. My brother starts walking around with a Red Sox hat on. He starts talking to me about the Patriots, this and that. And first of all, I got to hear about that. Yeah, he's not a fan. He's still a 4 for 4, but still, it kills me seeing that. It kills me hearing that come out of his mouth.
So he's starting to sway? Like you sense him swaying?
I mean, all right, he would never sway, but still.
He's become a sympathizer? Is that it?
Huh?
He's become a sympathizer?
Yeah, a little bit. But the worst part about it is my sister married a 4 for 4 Boston guy.
Oh, jeez.
So
I feel bad for your nieces and nephews.
Yeah. I hate everything Boston. I'm just like you. The Celtics, I know you hate the Celtics.
Oh, I despise the Celtics. I hate them.
Yeah.
Bruins. Yes.
I was, first Eagles past Super Bowl, like, we lost. That's when the hatred started. But, yeah, I got that going on, so I got to fight with him about that. But listen, I'm moving down to Florida, and so I'm moving out of Philly. Well, I already moved out of Philly, but I'm moving down to Florida, and I'm worried about my kids, man.
How old are they?
Who, my siblings?
Your kids. Oh, your future.
I didn't have kids yet, no, but I'm looking in the future.
Oh, so you're worried about your future. Okay, I got you. So,
what should I do?
Well, I mean, a couple things. One, I think you got to get them early. And the first thing is you got to take them on trips.
Yeah.
It's got to be active. Like you just can't go TV because they won't feel it. You got to when you have the kids, you got to take them at a young age, but they still have to be, old enough to be cognizant. And then you got to bring them to Phillies games and Eagles games and Sixers and Flyers and, feed them and you got to have them wearing the colors. Like it's got to be a whole out, you got to commit to it.
Yeah. I mean, Dick, you were talking about geography. They're gonna get sucked into it down there.
It's got to be an early propaganda campaign.
Now, the good thing is it's Florida. It's not, it's not Boston. Boston way more hard. Like you're up against it because they're into it. Florida, they're not big sports fans. It's all transient people anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're all half for ages.
I hear you.
All right, buddy. All right, I wish you luck. Keep us posted. Go Birds. Go Birds. You got it. Speaking of birds, let me get this out there. According to Drew Rosenhaus, the agent, one Derek Barnett is gauging the market for the potential to play more elsewhere, according to Jeremy Fowler. The Eagles plan to keep Barnett, but understand deep pass rush roster limits playing time. And there is a belief that the 2017 first-round pick should have trade value. So Barnett is looking to play more and looking for a possible trade. I say if you can get something of merit, you do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if you get something for him, hey, man, go have fun. Everybody wants pass rushers. You go be a pass rusher somewhere else. We're good here. We got a stocked rotation. You're not going to see a ton of time. And I'm cool with you not committing a personal foul. It's going to change games.
The greatest thing ever was Sirianni mouthing the words, "It's always him. It's always him."
And it is.
How great is that?
He knows.
Oh, my God. It's always him. It's always him. That is great. Black Gritty. My man, superstar. What's up, BG?
I'm just trying to be like you, cuz, you know what I mean? The bull gets the bull. I'm trying to be a security guard. I was promoting myself out there trying to get a job, brother. The line was long for you guys. You and Tuna stood out there like champs until the cows came home. You threw the concert, everything, shook every hand, gave every hug. God bless you, because Lord knows it was a great fan fest, but it was hot. The sun was upon us, brother.
You know what I love? It was great. Dickie Dunn. We had Tunis and I were sitting there doing our hanging out, meeting everybody and everything. And my man BG was over there behind us, relaxed, making sure everything was cool. And people go, "Hey, that's Black Gritty. Let me take a picture of Black Gritty." It was awesome.
And I got to meet Edith. Oh, God bless Edith. She's so amazing.
Is she the best?
Oh, she is the best. She had the Eagles hair on. I mean,
Yeah.
That really made my day, because she turned around, she heard my voice. She's like, "Are you Black?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I knew exactly who it was. She knew exactly who I was. It was amazing. I got to get a selfie with dun diggy dun diggy dun dun dun. So I mean, life is complete, brother. Life is complete. We're out there.
You know what was great too? Like the fact that, and this always makes me feel great, is that play, there was, I don't know, 12 to 15,000 people. It was packed, right?
Yes.
And it was all love, man. No beef.
No, the only people that were fighting we were fighting the sun, brother. No, it was all love and hugs everywhere. Drinks were flowing. You know what I mean? It's just a good time, and that's what we're about, Philadelphia. That's the positiveness. You know what I mean? The sun was on us. We were drinking to the nines. Everybody was having a good time. And like I said, you guys stood out there. Y'all, at the end of the day, the last of the Mohicans is every handshake, everyone hug. And I appreciate you. Love you guys always for that. But you know what else we got going on? One of the happiest things I got going on is Barnett's trying to get out of here.
Yep.
I wanted him traded 9 weeks ago.
I know.
The Eagles have their own little hard knocks thing or whatever, right? Sirianni's like, the team comes in, don't touch the quarterback. That's the first thing out of his mouth. Don't touch the quarterback. And this dude touched both quarterbacks. So I know that the coach told you in meetings, this is what not to do, and you did it both times, and you get all the penalties you get. Oh, please, I don't care if it's for a sandwich. Trade him somewhere else, because it's always him, and I can't stand it, because I can't stand it. That makes my day. I'm excited about the possibility of that man going away somewhere. But back to the positive thing. I love you so much, because I appreciate you, brother. Dun diggy dun diggy dun dun dun. Have a good day, guys.
You're the best, BJ.
Wait, guess what? Get us.
Gritty. Oh, he's the best. He always makes you laugh. Big personality, great personality, the whole thing. He's fantastic. Shoot us off this week. Somebody just asked if we're still doing the show together. All the vacations is crazy, so it makes all the schedules crazy. Last week, Ty was out. He's back this week. So Tunis filled in for Ty last week. This week, Tunis on vacation, so it's nothing. You know, there's nothing going on in that sense.
He did mislead the public, though. His tweet about FanFest at the end of it said, "Talk to you all Monday." So.
Oh, really?
Yes. I caught that. I was on the phone with my mom yesterday. She said, "I thought you said you were filling in for Tunis this week." I was like, "I am." She said, he said, "Talk to you all Monday." I was like, Junior's probably had a couple beverages towards the end of Fan Fest. He might have just been thinking in the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He was excited.
Yeah,
he was a little
yeah,
fired up.
yeah.
You know? He put up a nice selfie of him with Fall Out Boy in the background. He had himself a time. Happy Fan Fest, Junis. Enjoy your vacation. Talk to you on Monday. Not this Monday. Or next Monday. We're off for Labor Day.
Oh, that's fabulous. All right. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Couple open lines. You want to hang out? Lots to do right here. Cuz Radio, Dickie Dunn, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
All right, 12:48 across the Delaware Valley. My boy.
What's up?
I heard you were digging Fallout Boy.
I was having a great time. Yeah, we had a good time. Tyrone tell you that one?
I just heard. I hear things. I think I hear things.
I know. You hear things. I was having a good time. Yeah, it's good.
Like Gazzo, I hear things.
Okay.
Now, were you shrieking at Fallout?
I was doing a little. Well, shrieking's probably the wrong word. It doesn't sound good when I try and go with the song. But yeah, I was kind of yelling along. I was feeling myself at that point. I'll be honest. We had gotten through the hours of Fan Fest. Was excited to see the end of their set there. It was a good time.
How would you characterize your response to them? Would it be like adoration, fandom, having fun?
Having fun was
or
probably
obsession.
Oh, not obsession.
All right.
I was excited when they were announced because I was like, oh, they got some songs I could definitely, jump around
I
to.
might have
a good time.
heard the word shriek.
Shriek? I don't know if I characterize it as a shriek.
Now, shriek,
I think that's a little much.
Right. Well, shriek sounds like much. So, I hear that, the antenna goes up.
Yeah. No. I enjoy it. Listen, the songs they
played. You were
played.
a product of our show.
Yes. Songs they played. Could jump around to, could enjoy. The shriek, I don't think I got to a shriek.
All right.
I would probably try a sing along is probably better where I would characterize that.
All right. Because they were talking like maybe, 15-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming
Taylor
from. I'll
Swift
be honest
fan.
on that one.
Yeah.
All
right. I'm just checking.
Hey, listen. Well, it's a good time.
Interesting. Jen Schunis. Jen lost.
Did you see the video?
I did not. I heard that she lost, and I thought Jen, after hearing her story last week about knocking out the drunken dude in the bar, I figured that knowing Schunis, that Jen would take him out.
Yeah, well, the Schunis kind of wise move on this one.
He did not engage.
No, he took the step to the side. He let Jen kind of.
So Jen was trying to play rope-a-dope because Jen went after being in the big sumo suits, and Jen went after Chunas, lunged after him, and he just did a little sidestep piece.
Yeah. It's smart strategy. I mean, that's fighting.
Not exactly a Cobra Kai move.
No, but he's fighting not to lose there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to get the knockout that way, but, Jen goes to the ground on that one, and, there's a win for Chunas. That was tough. Fritzy put up the video on Facebook. I got to see it from there.
All right.
It was, felt bad for Jen, that one.
All right.
She came back up after the sumo. It's like, you'll never believe what Chunas did.
Tyrone had a nice scrape on the knee from making a big save on Scotty Hartnell.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to see how
skin peeled away. I respect a good skinning.
Special make the save.
Or make it right. He made the save. He didn't he made the save. I respect that.
If you're gonna have the scrape on the knee, you hope to come away with the save.
Exactly.
It's good. I feel like I missed a lot of athletic endeavors by hours truly while I was wandering around.
You made me laugh. Let's go to Gary. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, Guy.
Yo, cuz.
What is it, Gary?
I feel like I'm at the confessional right now. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I've got two sins I got to confess. Number one, I missed FanFest for the third consecutive year, and I got excuses for it. Number one, we had to go to the Hall of Fame induction since my wife is very closely associated with every inductee. Popovich, Becky Hammond, Tony Parker, and Gasol.
Wow, really?
So yeah, we were up there on the 12th for that. But, back in July, we were back at LBI with my college friends from Niagara. And then she's at the U.S. Open starting tomorrow morning. I'm at the airport.
Man, you guys get around. That's awesome.
and then I got a deal at the Cape with a bunch of Boston area people. One of which is the guy who just retired as the chief of staff of the Army. He was an air cavalry trooper with me at Fort Ord back in the 80s. So we're going to honor him and his.
Oh, thank you for your service too.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's a long way to get to the fact that I was not there on Saturday. In addition, it was.
Yeah, I think you have an excuse. I think you're all right, man. Yeah, okay. I think you're fine.
All right.
No sin there.
What's that?
There's no sin.
Okay, thank you. The other one probably is a sin, but it's the way I grew up. I went to my first Philly game at age 7 in 1955. First Eagle game at JFK, believe it or not, at an exhibition game against the newly established Patriots. I went to Flyers games, and my first Warrior game was against the Boston Celtics in Convention Hall the night that Chamberlain pulled down 55 rebounds, a record that will never be broken. But I was not rooting for the Warriors that night. I was rooting for my Boston Celtics. Oh. That's my sin.
Oh.
No, listen why. I was from age 5 until high school when I realized I'm blown out. I wanted to be the next greatest Polish point guard in the frame of Bob Cousy. That he was my idol, and so that's why I was a Celtic fan. The other thing
that doesn't fly. In the same way, I do it with my own people who try to talk about Joe DiMaggio or whatever. No. I don't want to hear you're a Yankee fan. You'll be a Phillies fan. That's it.
Okay. How about this then? When I get to college, I became a classmate of Calvin Murphy, who was a 3-time All-American.
I know, the Rockets.
Spent a lot of time with Calvin at the Hall of Fame induction, by the way. We got a reunion. It was off the charts.
Yeah, he was a Rocket.
So I'm out of the Army, or I'm in the Army, and I get an assignment to Houston, Texas, where Calvin is in his 8th year playing ball there. So how am I not going to root for my boy, you know?
Yeah, but it's not that hard. You can root for players. You can like a player. You just can't like their team. Like, you can't root for the Celtics. You, of all people, okay. You're a basketball man. I can tell.
I'm a kid, though, right?
But I don't know. I had no excuse.
Dude, I'm an adult. It's 1992. I'm out of the military. We moved to San Antonio, Texas. Within 3 months of moving here, my wife gets a job as an usher at the Alamo, which is the home of the San Antonio Spurs. And over the years, she's had a history of either full-time or part-time employment the entire 31 years we've been here. So, and you know who's run through this place, right?
Yeah.
How am I not going to be a Spurs fan? I'm a military guy who's run around the country. I land in San Antonio. My wife gets employed.
Yeah, but you were a 4-for-4 guy. That's it. You can't. Again, I'm not telling you don't. You can't have a soft spot, but you should be a Sixer fan. Your basketball is horrible. I love you. You're a horrible basketball fan. Horrible. Celtics, Rockets.
The only time I was close is when Brett Brown was coaching over there, because we all here love Brett Brown.
Yeah, well,
he was a good guy.
Nice man.
And now we got Wemby. So what am I going to do? How am I not going to root for the Spurs? You know?
Yeah. Again, you can't root for the Spurs. The rules are the rules. Like, again, you can have a soft spot. You live down there. I get it, but you can't. Your Sixers got to be your one team.
All right. Can I make up for it by the fact that I have 5 nephews, 4 nieces, and 2 of my 3 grandchildren are hardcore Philly and Eagle fans?
They're good. They're in good standing. Yeah. It's Pop who's the problem.
Well, wait a minute. I'm the one that convinced them to be Eagles and Phillies fans. Yesterday, I gave my youngest grandson here. He got the cover version of Sports Illustrated, and I think he's already read the Jalen Hurts article on it.
No 3 for 4. All right.
So wild.
I admire you. He's selling a great man. No 3 for 4, brother. That's it. Oh. No such thing. So, my man, listen to this. I got this for you. Ready? Thomas Burke. Tom moved to Chicago 8 years ago. His now fiance, and they had a son together who's now 2.5. From day one, he swarmed him with everything Philadelphia sports. He thinks he's certain he has persuaded him at a young age. But what does he do when he gets older and goes to school and he's at the mercy of the friends? He said, I don't want to take away his geographical fandom, but I can't stand the thought of him not being a Philadelphia sports fan. I got to tell you, it is tough. And I understand there's a bit of hypocrisy because we take in the transplants. And therefore, the geographical thing is a big deal. But I can only tell him what I would do. And that is fight for his life. Fight for his soul. And here is your loophole. It is the first generation. Your son still has citizenship through you. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard about dual citizenship.
Yes.
So I'm in the process of getting my dual citizenship.
Nice.
All right. So the whole thing, I think it's kind of cool. And we go there a lot because my wife has the business. So she's been really big on it and trying to do the dual citizenship. So in this case, it's the same thing. If the chain is not unbroken, then you're intact for the dual citizenship. His father in Chicago remains a Philadelphia sports fan. Therefore, the chain is intact. And he has that loophole of citizenship, 4-for-4 citizenship. Make sense?
Makes sense. I think my biggest fight in that game right there, and not that I'm in any position to give parenting tips, but I would make it an event to come back to Philadelphia and go to games. I think that would be if you have the means to do it, give them the young, good, sweet memories of going to Philadelphia and supporting the Philadelphia teams. So it seems like it was a treat. It was a thing that you would look forward to. I think that would be a big attachment thing. I think that would be the way I would fight for the soul there. Because I think it's going to be tough. The friends, I didn't know where you're going with the fight thing. I didn't know if you're going to say, how many 12-year-olds can you take in the battle for your son's fandom? But it's going to be tough with the friends. So, we're all going. We're going to go, I don't know, Cubs, White Sox, whatever they are. Like, we're going to go down to the game, and they're all decked out. He's going to feel the pressure to be decked out with them and enjoy the game from their side.
My advice, you take him back to Philadelphia on a pilgrimage. And then you take him to all the games. You take him to all 5 Union, all games. Make it a fun trip. And it's going to be serious because you want to take, maybe in the summer, you do like a Phillies, or you go end the summer, Phillies and the Eagles preseason type of thing, or whatever it is. And then you do a Sixers fly, whatever you want to do. But you take them on the pilgrimage. You get them the food. Like, it's a whole thing.
Explore the city with me. Yeah, we'll do the whole thing.
Yes.
Get you where you need to go.
That's the move that Thomas needs.
He's not lost.
No.
It's just a tougher battle.
Yes. So he uses the birthright for citizenship, and then he brings it back, and he does a whole Philadelphia pilgrimage for his son.
It's tough with Chicago, too. Chicago's one of those cities.
A good sports fan.
Yeah, it's a good sports city.
It is.
Again, the Florida, I'm not too worried about. You win Florida.
Yeah.
It's struggling.
Yeah. Let's go to Doug. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Dougie.
Hey, and so I had this whole thing, but that last caller put a really bad taste in my mouth. Like, what are you, like, what? What? You're from Philly and you're going to root for the Spurs? Like, I don't care who you work for. Bro, like, we're different in Philly. So the reason why I called to begin with is I think you just clarified it, by the way, so thank you for that. Because I was like, wait, what are you saying that? you said you have to commit to the region. In Philly, I've been out in San Francisco now for about 16 years. Ain't no way I'm committing to the San Francisco teams ever in my life. And exactly what you said was right to that dude moving down to Florida. You indoctrinate them early. So my kids are all 4-4-4. And, like, if they're going to – we don't even watch hockey, right? But in my bones, if I'm going to root for anyone, it's not going to be like the San Jose Sharks. It's going to be the Flyers.
Right.
So my kids, yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't even matter if I watch hockey. It's the Flyers, right? So I took them back. It's exactly what you said. So I was back in Philly a few weeks ago, and I took my kids to a Phillies game. They finally got to go to the Citizens Bank Park, and they just loved it. It was the weekend that Trey Turner got his mojo back, and they were giving out Schwarber jerseys, and it's just like, dude, my kids are fans for life, and they're very fortunate because they grew up seeing a Super Bowl win. Joel, before everything went haywire this past season, Joel just dominating the league. The Phillies in the World Series, so that's how you do it. You're exactly 100% right. But
that's interesting. How did the kids respond to the when the Eagles beat the Niners and all their classmates and friends?
Okay, so there's a note about that, guys. There is no pressure. It doesn't matter, dude. You're from Philly. It's exactly what you said, Ant. Philly's in their bloodline, so it doesn't matter that, what are you going to do when they grow up and they want to hang out? Oh, well, then, go wear your normal clothes, go to the game, enjoy it, but you're a Birds fan, you're a Sixers fan, you're a Philly fan, you know what I'm saying? So their first games, it's funny that you say that, because their first games for Philly, the Sixers and the Phillies, was in San Francisco, because I would drive them to, when they're in town. And we just went over to SAC this year to see the Sixers play because it was just cheaper to buy.
You're right. Sure.
So, my son, it was funny because it was the day or three before Matisse got traded. But we ran into Matisse and Daryl Morey in the elevator on the way to the Sacramento game.
Get out.
So it's
That's cool.
It was awesome, man. Because I don't know if you know how the Sacramento stadium set up, but where the visiting team stays is right next to it. So, we saw all those guys, and, Joe wasn't playing, but my son saw, in that game, he saw the Sixers come back from 25 down. And I told him, I was like, yo, if they make this 3 at half, we have a chance. And, that sticks with him, right? The Super Bowl sticks with him. Being at the park and seeing Schwarber and Castellano and, I forget who else, hit a homer that day that we were just back there. Seeing homers hit, that hit him hard. So, it's for life. It doesn't matter when they grow up. I'm not even worried about that, dude. It's yeah, they're going to root for the Niners, yeah. But, there's nothing like Philly. I'm telling you right now, with all those championships that those Niners won here, they're not even close to the fandom that we are. Not even close.
Oh, dude, you're a great parent. Great parent, I got to tell you. Doggy, you're my man, Doggy.
Yo, Ann, real quick, sorry.
I need you in the family. We always have when it comes to the family cabinet to lead family values, you'll be there, man.
Trust me, I'll teach them all, Grandma.
I love
I'll
it.
be like the instructor.
Yes.
Hey, real quick. I was trying to get. I was back in Jersey and Philly a few weeks ago. I was so excited to talk to you, and you and Chunas went on this rant about classic baseball for an hour, and I was so excited to talk. And that was my one day that I could call in.
Oh,
and I had to go pick up my kids. And I was like, oh my God, Chunas, Aunt, shut up so I can get on the air. I'm so excited to talk to you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, don't let your kids root for anyone else, everyone.
Love it. You're my man, Dougie. That's a great call, brother. Thank you, pal. See you, buddy. Yeah, so because we can do this. I got a feeling that Dickie Dung would go down the rabbit hole. We could nerd out.
Yeah.
We could nerd out. We were probably nerding out that day.
Nothing wrong with nerd out.
We were talking about it earlier. Ricky Bo and I were nerding out on Saturday.
Great. It was so great.
It was supposed to be Dickie. Knowing you probably prepped the whole thing. You knew
that was the funniest part about it. I had That was the one time I've shown up to go on the air without a sheet, without notes, without anything.
Really?
I was just ready to rip it with Ricky and see what happened.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking you have all these notes and all the prep and all this stuff.
I was like, we got an hour?
And then I hijacked your show.
No. Honestly, what you did with them was probably further down the rabbit hole of where I was going to go, where I was just like, let's geek out about baseball for an hour. That was probably going to be what it was with Ricky and I. Maybe talk a little bit about the event and then, hey, what's going on? What do you guys still got to do? It was going to be a very, very easy, slow-moving hour, Ray. We didn't have much on the docket of like, all right, 2 to 2:05. We're going to hit this, Ricky.
Right.
2:05. No, they were making fun of me yesterday. B. Gunn and Kevin Cooney. They're like, you didn't have a show sheet? You didn't have attached? Because I always come in with the notes. I always got the sheet ready to go, flip it through. It's planned out usually when I come in here. They were making fun of me. You didn't do anything for that hour? It's like, no. All right. I was just ready to be relaxed, have a time, enjoy an hour on the radio. I don't always have to have notes with me, though most of the time I do have notes with me.
That's great.
Keeps
That's
me going.
hysterical. Let's go to Nikki. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nikki.
Gentlemen, how we doing, man?
What's up, my brother?
Dude, ship Barnett like a Christmas package. I mean, seriously. Like, put a bow on it, man. I don't care. I don't need postage or anything, man. I don't need anything back for that thing. Like Mike Gritty said, let's get an empty sack of balls. We don't even need the balls. We just need the sack to collect the balls. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
I get that he recovered a loose fumble that almost won us the game, but actually didn't win us the game because there was a Hail Mary in the end zone. It bounced 3 times off of 3 different Patriots' hands. But, any Eagle would have fell in that thing.
Oh, my God. That's hysterical.
Listen, wow, this is tough. Like, the kid, the Chicago guy, like, I agree with your last guy. Listen, he's out there on the West Coast. He's in a beautiful land. It's easy just to go, hey, I'm going to let my son be local. And he hardcored it and said, no, you're Philly through and through. So I respect that 100%. That's a sensible. He's on the wall 24/7. We need him on that wall. But, I mean, I got a little leniency. Like, the Chicago guy, if his fiance's from there, they have a child. If their roots are going deep into the lake, then I don't have a problem. There's just one rule for my kid. When he's 2.5, he understands. Listen, kid, Chicago-Philly matchups in the postseason, don't tell me who you're rooting for, and if you make any noise, I'm putting you in the closet. Go watch the game upstairs. Like, there's no rooting against my squad. I brought you into this world. I'll take you out, okay? You want your Chicago citizenship? You can have it. I'll kiss you on the cheek for it. I'll grant it to you, wistfully.
But see, here's the thing, though. But see, here's the point, is that the father, it's so hard to imagine, right, that you love this child so much. It's like it's the greatest gift you've ever received, right? The greatest gift from God. And you as a dad, you imagine this stuff, and you can only believe that you want to share your greatest joy, which is sports, with the children. So that's why it's hard. Like, you got to fight for the soul. And I understand it. And I think the loophole is first generation. It's dual citizenship.
Listen, I get that. Listen, I'm going to do. I'm with you, man. I'm going to get the dual citizenship, and I'm comfortable with that. But like, Chicago's a tough town. Like, if you're in Mobile, Alabama, dude, no, you're not doing anything. You want to go roll tide, okay. But besides that, anything professional, it's 4 for 4. You don't do anything else outside 4 for 4. But Chicago, man, that's
you got to fight them.
Listen,
you got to fight them. You got to fight for the soul, man.
Listen, man, but Southside's tough, man. You want them fighting early? Like, that's tough, man.
Yeah, you were from Philadelphia.
We fight.
That's what I'm talking about, man. You kidding me?
I'm on the left, Rock.
Hey, Rocky.
Yo, Rocky. Get the chicken, Rock. Get the chicken. All right, fellas. Dickie Dunn, you're the man. Lance, answer the phone, Lance. No clue where that movie's from.
You have any idea? Well, you were talking about, who you talking about? Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And I go, pick up Lance going to Dallas. And you have no idea what that means, right? Pick up Lance. Right over your head. Yeah.
Yeah, Dickie Dunn was like, but he didn't even know it was a movie reference.
No.
But listen, I would have been right next to Dickie Dunn, not shrieking, but I've been dancing like a wild man on 14 tequilas on Saturday. If I wasn't packing my girl and shipping her to the shore, I would have been right next to him. I would have been, I'm a young 52-year-old when it comes to music.
That's awesome.
Peace, fellas.
See you, brother. So it's a Pulp Fiction reference.
We're going to get there.
So when we come back, we got a lot of people I want to get to. I also need to hear you watched one of the movies on the list.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell us what it was on the other side and your review. All right?
Gotcha.
All right. Lots to do. Still got a segment to hang. Let's try to squeeze it all in. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Cuz Radio. Dickie Dunn in for the Tunis. Right here. 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about the Bet Parks app. Bet Parks app has you covered. Let me throw something real quick at you because Tyrone and I were just talking about it. Because I don't know how we got on the subject of it, but we were just talking about playoffs and the Braves and the whole thing. I mean, not for nothing, but there shouldn't be all these wild cards. It's stupid. Should be one wild card. There should be 4 teams in each league that make the playoffs, and you play 7-game series first round, 7-game series LCS, 7-game series World Series. That should be it.
Hard for me to go on that side after I watched what I watched last year.
It's the truth. But you know what, though? It's the truth.
I would
it
take...
devalues the entire regular. Why are you playing 162 games if you're going to have all the nonsense wild card?
And I would agree with that. But I would
ridiculous.
If you're for the one thing there, I would keep the 4, but I still like the 5 games for a little bit of parity.
I don't like the 5. I think the true better team should have the advantage of a 7-game series. Like, you've earned that over by having the better year. And therefore, because if you go by the theory, which I do, that the 7-game series, the favorite should win more than in a 5-game series.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the favorites earn that. Like, why are you playing all those games?
What do you mean, why are you playing all those games in the regular season?
Yeah. You completely devalue the regular season.
I guess, if you end up being the best team, the idea is you're getting the 4th best team. Instead of you're not getting, you'll have home field and you're getting a lesser team if you're the better team.
Yeah, but you should have 7 games just in case of the rust factor or anything else.
Well, I think we probably eliminate the rust factor. I guess going into the end of the season, if you're not playing as many competitive games as the team that comes in at 4, I can understand why you'd be upset about that, but I like the parity of what 5 games does. I like it creates a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, I just, in the order of fairness and in the order of, it's the regular, why play all these games then? It's completely ridiculous.
The more teams
to throw, your parity, what's that mean?
It means that
why are you playing all those games then? You're just wasting time.
Not wasting time. If you whittle it down to 4 teams, you haven't wasted all the time.
7-7.
Nah, I go 5-7.
3-11. Come on, stop.
I do. I like the little bit of parity it gives you. Plus, if you're the better team, you have home field, and you got the lesser opponent.
Look, the Phillies lost in a 5-game series against the Cardinals.
Yes,
and
my childhood.
I think it was unfair. It should have been 7 games. If you get beat in a 7-game series, then you get beat. You don't deserve to go on.
So you think in the heart of hearts they win one of the next 2?
I believe they win the next 2, and it's go Phils.
Okay.
And they win the World Series that year.
Would have been a nice world. It creates a bit of chaos.
I don't like it. It's not fair.
So was it fair to the Braves last year?
Well, no, it's not. The Phillies could have took them out in 7.
But if you're arguing the better team.
Yeah, but the Phillies could still take you out.
The Cardinals still could have taken out 2011 Phillies in 7.
Yeah, but I don't believe that they would have. Because they only had one, and Carpenter had his game, and that would have been it.
I feel like we could go on the 2 sides. We've been on both sides of the ledger with this.
Yeah, that's why I think 7 games, fair.
Well, if you have 2 examples where it's the extreme on either way, it probably ends up to the evening out to sometimes the favorite gets what they need. They don't,
Yeah, that's why you go 7 games.
Nah, I keep it to 5.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's all
okay,
right.
That's fine.
Let's go to Jules. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jules!
Yo, what up, cuz?
What up, Jules?
Hey, man, FanFest was a ball, man.
Yeah, good time, huh? That's great.
It was great, man. All the activities, talking to you and Tunis. Tunis with the strong move, bringing you a refreshment.
Yeah, he got me. My main man got me a gin and tonic for the meet and greet. That was nice, Jules.
Yeah, it was a great time. Listen, I don't know how they're gonna top it next year. They're gonna have to bring a live gorilla. I don't know, something. It was awesome.
Well, you know what? That would be interesting. Can they bring zoo animals? And you make it like the Coliseum.
We got the Philadelphia Zoo right there.
Yeah.
We got the Philadelphia Zoo right there. We could borrow some.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. It was it was great. It was great, and the Phillies capped it off with a banger of a night.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was a great night, great weekend. The Saturday was actually me and my twin brother's birthday, so it was just a great weekend altogether.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother. That's fantastic. I mean, I'm so glad it was great meeting you and hanging. And it was just, I love it. I love it every year. And you know what it is, too? All that love, no fights, no beefs. It's fantastic.
No, yeah. It was a great time. Like, we had the NFL draft. Nothing happened. Fan Fest every year. Nothing happens. It's a good time.
It's
a great time.
Amen, brother. Thanks for coming, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. Let's go to David in Bama. Hello, David.
What up, Anthony? How are you doing, man?
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Yo, listen. So I was just thinking about all this conversation about everything going on with our kids and how do we keep them 4 for 4. And back in 2015, my wife and I and our 2 boys, we packed up, we sold our house and moved to the Philippines. And you might have remembered me from years and years and years ago, back when you were doing the whole baldy thing, and I called up with the big white beard and was beatboxing.
Yes!
That's right. That's right. I was driving to Atlantic City, and I'm in my car beatboxing.
How do I forget that? That was awesome.
My dad is from Juniata. My mom's from South Philly. Like, we live and breathe Philly. And even when we went to the Philippines, I brought Nick Santalari prints of the art museum. I had Nick Santalari prints of Boathouse Row up in my house in the Philippines. And part of like going to the Philippines, like we went as missionaries. And when you go there, you're going to preach about the good kingdom. And when I went there, yes, I did that, but also about the good kingdom of Philly. Like part of being a Philadelphian is like sharing that culture.
Yes.
It's bringing people into everything about the heart of Philly, not just the sport, but like cooking pulled pork for them. Like we had Filipinos around our table and my wife was making pulled pork with broccoli rabe, and we had steaks going, and we had like people started saying, what's happening here? And we're like, this is Philly. This is what we do. We eat together. We die together. We do everything together. And my boys have grown up seeing that. And now I'm a pastor in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Wow.
And it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. We're in Saints country. It's SEC land down here. But you know what? People come to our house because they want the Philly experience. And so not only are my boys 4 for 4 sports fans, but now their friends are becoming 4 for 4 sports fans.
Wow, it's intoxicating for them. Yes, I love it.
It's beyond just our children. It's actually impacting where we go, and you've got to represent Philly.
Yeah.
When people walk in my house, they see, they smell, they taste everything Philly, and that's it.
Yeah. I love this. Oh my God, that's fantastic.
So anyway, man, I can't wait to get back to Philly.
Dude, you're great. You're a great man of the cloth.
In 2 weeks, I get off of a plane from New Orleans. I fly right into Philly. My brother is picking me up. My brother lives in Southampton. He picks me up from Philly Airport, and we're literally with my luggage going right to the Marlins Phillies game on 9/8, and then I meet my sister who's living in Glassboro on 9/11 for the 6:40 game against the Braves. This is life, man.
Yeah.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
Yep, I'm with you. Totally with you, brother.
Right,
Good.
Well,
You're great call. Great call.
Come down to the Gulf Coast, man. Come down and experience all that is good down here. There's a lot of Philly fans down here.
That's cool.
It's incredible.
That's
so
awesome.
You got to come down.
I love it, brother. Good stuff, man. Thanks, pal. That's great. That's a great call. This is great. My man Joe Ormsby said, I done good, cuz. And he sends me a screenshot of his son's answer to this question. What kind of sports or other events do you like to watch? Write 2 or 3 sentences about it. And his young lad wrote, I like to watch football, and my favorite team is the Eagles! Exclamation mark. Now, tell me that's not great parenting.
Fantastic parenting.
That's awesome. That's great stuff. By the way, my man Tristan Holman says, well, I don't think baseball should go to be at best of 7 because the World Series end up in mid-November. Now, we're eliminating the first stupid round, that whole waste of a week. So it's really going to be the same. And if you got to start the first week of September, then so be it. But you can do it that way.
Yeah, if you get rid of the extra wild cards, you'd be able to still fit it in.
Yeah.
You'd be fine there.
I just don't like all the extra wild cards. And again, I know the Philly, we benefited from last year, but I just don't.
The one thing it's absolutely.
The idea, it's like, to me, it's ridiculous that you play all these games and for what? Like, what are you trying to establish? Otherwise, go be the NBA and play 81 games.
And we're talking about a team. When we're talking about the Phillies, we're talking
games.
about being the top wild card, the top of the 3, and we were talking about, hey, maybe they're getting to 90 wins. Like, so you are selling with the 5-6 spots. You're giving a little bit of love. Teams are going to end up with 80-something wins. I understand the tough sell there at the extra spots. I think the one thing the extra spots have really killed, and we saw it this year, was the trade deadline. Because so many teams thought they were in it. If you're going to keep with this wild card setup, you need to move the trade deadline back a week or two. Because you kind of have no real marquee movement because everybody thinks they're still in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we get the 6th wild. I think a lot of teams probably saw what happened with the Phillies last year. Like, oh, we get the 6th wild card. Who knows what happens?
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, you're not. Maybe if you've got Ohtani, maybe you flip him because you're not that good of a team.
Right.
But hey, that's just me. I'm no GM.
Speaking of Ohtani and the Phillies, with the Angels in town, poor Mike Trout comes back for a day, got hurt again. Let me ask you a question. If the Angels said to you, listen, we're losing Ohtani. This is the offseason. He goes elsewhere. We'll give you Trout for like next to nothing, but you got to pay the rest of the contract, which is a lot. Do you do the deal?
Where can I grab his bags?
Right?
Yeah, I'm in.
And you say, listen, I'm in all day, and you know that he plays 90 games. And the off chance he gets lucky, I mean, I feel bad. I love Trout. I think he is one of these snake-bitten guys. Certain guys are just unlucky. And if he feels unlucky to me, bad franchise, Angels terrible. Maybe it's them because Ohtani, the UCLA, Trout, Rendon went there and just lost all his powers to play the game. Like, it's amazing. Like, that place, it must be cursed.
So we have to save Trout, is what you're saying. We got to get him out.
Get Trout out.
That's what we need at the ballpark tonight. Get Trout out. Get Trout out. He's got the golf course to come back to now, too. He'll be here for Eagle season. He'll be here for the golf course.
Right.
And we'll get him out of the cursed land.
Yes. Bring
City
him back
of Angels. Cursed by the devil.
That's right. Let's go to John. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, John.
Hello?
Hello, Johnny. What's happening, John?
Hold on 1 second. I'm driving. One, I want to tell you that I love your
Thanks, buddy.
You were just hanging out with my buddy Fink the other day.
Oh, I love the Fink. It's my man.
Dude, Fink is awesome. I love that kid to death.
Yep.
We actually won a softball championship together.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Don't let him tell you that, though. Anyway, so the Phils. What do you think the Phils are going to do this year? Because I'm a little skeptical.
What are you skeptical about? You're calling it A after you just got Wheeler and Nola throwing gems? How would you call it A after a sweep?
How often does that happen, though? Well,
it doesn't matter. Like they're they're on their way to securing the top wild card, and they're starting to get pitching. Their bats have come alive. Turner's coming back.
Their bats have come alive spectacular. I love their bats right now. Hold on. I'm actually pulling over right now because I'm actually driving back from Lowe's trying to get the
What are you trying to get? The bags there?
Vacation.
What are you buying at Lowe's?
Yeah, yes. What's that?
Never mind. All right, real quick. Did you have something with kids fandom? Is that it?
What's that?
Did you have something with kids fandom?
Kids fandom? No.
All right. Well, I got to run, bud. Thanks, pal. That's what it said on the screen. So I didn't want to. Love to think. But come on, man. Today's not the day to question the Phillies. You're skeptical. What? If it could come down to the Braves, we all get it. But right now, Nola, of all days, this is a week to be optimistic. I grant you, we are completely manic when it comes to the Phillies. Win 2, we're sky high. Lose 1, we're down in the dump. We're way manic when it comes to the Phillies. But now's not the time to be down.
They should have somehow won 4 games over the 3 games this weekend.
No, but the way Wheeler and Nola pitched, especially Nola, don't you feel good?
Especially it's been back-to-back starts where he's gone 7 innings. He allowed 2 in the last one, didn't allow a run in this one. Yeah, you got to feel better.
Come on.
Looked good yesterday.
Let's go to Shane. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, Shane.
Hey, I just want to say I'm a big fan. I just moved down to the area about a year ago, and I've loved everybody on your station. So,
thank you, Shane. Appreciate that, brother.
No problem.
So where'd you move from?
So North Jersey.
Okay.
So I grew up a Giants fan. My wife's an Eagles fan. It's, during the season, it could get a little rough, especially on those head-to-head games. But I just, I think it's like such a great atmosphere, to have that little bit of like frustration with each other sometimes, and just to have like that little playfulness back and forth and kind of talk smack with each other during the season. I know you guys were talking about that. I just wanted to
yeah.
So now the fun part begins because I got 2 kids in diapers right now. So raising them is
congratulations, my brother. So tell me, this is interesting, right? Now you got, how old are the kids?
They're both under 2. I have my son will be 2 in October, and my daughter is 6 months.
Okay, what are their names?
Isaiah and Aria.
Okay, beautiful names. Now, Isaiah and Aria, now again, there's hypocrisy. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, there's always hypocrisy with me when it comes to the future of the children, right?
Yeah.
Because, I want to have sports custody as, if you're living here, it's region. If you're out of the region, it's the whole, dual citizenship. So tell me where your head's at as someone raised a Giant fan.
I mean, I would obviously love my kids to be Giants fans, but I do know I'm up against it being that we're in the Philly area now. And even like going to games, it's going to be easier for Eagles, stuff like that. So I don't really care either way. I mean, I'm a diehard Giants fan. I don't sway. My wife, like I said, diehard Eagles fan. So, I kind of don't mind as long as they stick to Giants or Eagles, definitely no Cowboys, nothing like that. And, as long as it's passionate, I just, as long as you're not a fake fan, that's all that matters to me.
Right.
And I think the New York fan base, the Philly fan base, they're just so passionate. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to sports. Because, without passion, it's kind of all for nothing, right?
Listen, I'm completely with you. I'm spot on. I'm with you, without a doubt. Now, it feels like you would be okay if the kids, because it seems like you're going to be raising them here, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like you're kind of cool with that idea of them being Philadelphia fans.
Because I'm the same way. Like I lived like 15 minutes from MetLife, so I knew how it was to be close. I used to go to games all the time with my grandfather. So it's just I know what it's like to be close to the stadium. I'm only in Deptford, so it's not like it's a far ride to go to an Eagles game.
Right.
And I love going to sports games. So if I could bring my son to an Eagles game, even if it hurts me a little bit because I'm a Giants fan, if that's the way he wants to go, fine. But listen, if we got to make the trip up north to go to a Giants game because he wants to be a Giants fan, I'll be just as happy.
So will you? And here's the truth, and here's the big question for you, as dad: are you going to try to sway them, or you allow them to make their own decision?
I mean, I'll allow them to make their own decision, but I'm gonna let them know why they should go to the Giants fan. That's just me. But I'm sure my wife's gonna kind of work equally against me there too.
Yeah. What about mom? Will she'll? Does she have your in-laws here? Are they big sports fans too?
No,
Okay.
Definitely not.
All right, so now it's an even playing field between you and her.
Yeah,
interesting. All right. Well, listen, if I could be of some help, let me ask you this: would you guys split the children?
What do you mean?
Like maybe, I don't know, Aria is a Giant fan and Isaiah is an Eagle fan.
If that's the way it goes, I mean, that's fine too. That just creates more animosity during the season. That sounds fun to me.
Listen, Shane, it was a pleasure, brother.
You too. Thank you.
God bless the children, man. That's awesome. What do you think of that?
The split kids thing is an interesting one.
Right?
Because I've always thought about
I get
that.
one, you get one. But now we're talking almost favorites, right? Like, that's no good. You don't want to have favorites.
And what if yours starts to waver? And then you had the split, but they ended up making the conscious choice of jumping over. What does that say about you? What does that say about your relationship?
Right, you got nothing.
Yeah.
And you're always the odd man out.
It's tough. The split children is the interesting one. Because that's not how my family went. It just everyone went to one side. So
and you have what, 2 siblings?
2 siblings, yeah. Younger brother, younger sister.
So they all went to your father.
Yeah.
That's interesting, too.
I do think it's important to win the oldest.
Yes.
You win the oldest, and this is not just an oldest child speaking here, but I think you win the oldest, you start to, he's an Eagles fan. Follow suit, this looks fun. The oldest makes it look like a good time. The younger ones are probably, the ducks will fall in a row here. So I think, not that I want to say don't spend as much time with the 6-month-old, but really work to get that nearly 2-year-old to where the fandom you're looking for. Now, for Shane's case, I'm rooting for his wife. I'm rooting for the Eagles fans.
We're rooting Mrs. Shane.
Yeah, Mrs. Shane, this is advice to you. Shane, I hope you clicked off. You didn't get the radio back on for that advice, and we appreciate you listening anyways.
Let's go to Nikki. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nick.
Anthony, Nicky A. How you been?
What do you say, Nicky A? How you doing, buddy?
Good. Listen, Anth, I knew I did my job as a parent. First off, my son was born in 1980. What a great year for a child to be born. All 4 teams played in the championship that year.
Yes.
I raised him to be a Philadelphia sports fan so much, and that was the proudest I've ever been as a father. When he called me from the Eagles parade when they won the Super Bowl, and he told me that he was there, and I asked him, "How are you going to go to the bathroom?" And he said, Dad, I'm wearing a Depends diaper. I was so proud of my son that made everything.
Wow.
That just made it for me. It was like I did my job as a father.
Wow.
I did my job as a father.
Wow. You did. Nicky A.
I'm working on the 2nd generation. I got a granddaughter. I had her here this weekend, watched all the Phillies games. And how good was the pitching staff?
Oh, my God, Nicky.
25 strikeouts to 1 walk.
I mean, it's incredible. 22-3 for the series, right? I mean, oh, my. No, Nola was magical yesterday. I mean, Wheeler was dominant, and then Nola was just magical yesterday, man.
Sanchez pitched great too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did.
I think I heard the stat like they had 25 strikeouts, the 3 of them combined to 1 walk.
And the other thing too, Nick, think about this for a second. The other thing is that Cardinal lineup. It's not like it's a bad lineup. You got Goldschmidt, you got Arenado, Edmund could play a little bit. Burleson's a young player with pop. Gorman's got pop at second. Lefty. I mean, that's a decent lineup. I mean, the Cardinals' problem has been their pitching.
Yeah, they're and you know what? A couple of their pitchers started out well in the beginning of the games. And then, of course, the Phillies offense, which is starting to turn the corner here. I mean, if you get that offense matched up with the way Wheeler and Nola was pitching, and I agree with you on the playoff with the wild card teams. I agree with you right now because the Phillies are in first place and they would be the only team in the.
Yeah, I was just in general. Like if we're talking GP,
I get what you're saying. Hey, Anthony, you are without a doubt probably the most proudest Philadelphian that I know of. I'm also one. As a matter of fact, I just want to get this little plug in if you don't mind.
Sure.
I wrote a show called Proud to be a Philadelphian. It's in the Philadelphia Fringe Festival.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a clapback to all the outsiders that hate our city. I'm sick and tired of it, Ant.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired
I'm with you, buddy.
I'm sick and tired of hearing it. If people go to phillyfringe.org and just put proud in the keyword, you'll see my show. You know me. I've been a comic for 35 years.
Yeah, that's right.
I am laying it out to the outsiders. And I'm on the home stretch of my life. I love this city with all my heart. It is my gift back to Philadelphia.
I love it. I think that's fantastic.
If you get a chance,
I will definitely check it out. Once again, tell people how to watch it.
Go to Philadelphia. It's PhiladelphiaFringe.org. You just put the word proud in the keyword box. My show is at the Curtis Institute, one of the greatest buildings
of course.
In Philadelphia.
Yep.
It is September 20, 21st, and 22nd at 8 p.m. at the Curtis Institute. Just go to Fringe.
That's great, dude. I wish you so much luck, Nikki. Hey, remind us the week of the shows, too, okay?
I will, brother.
You got it.
I'll send you a pair of tickets to come out, Anthony.
You got it. Listen, I think it's beautiful.
I love you, brother.
You love you too, buddy.
Phils.
See you, brother. Go Phils. I love that. We talk about our pride, man. That's what it's about. Andrew, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew,
how we doing?
What's up, Andrew?
So I just wanted to touch on the MLB series thing, and then I'll jump into growing up as a Philadelphia fan, a little bit of a different perspective on that. First, I think they've done some stuff this year in terms of shortening games and things like that to have more interest for the casual. With like 160 plus games, and if you make the playoffs, seven games, all of them, I just feel like the casuals aren't watching these games. I mean, I work at a sports bar, so I'm watching every single game, and I'll shoot a text to my fantasy group chat after that no-hitter, like, we got another ace. And no one responds until the morning because, they look at the score in the morning. Everyone's got things going on.
Well, I know, but you can't market to the casual.
I feel
like at some point it's a waste of time. Like you just gotta go when a team comes when a home, like in our case, we're into it, right? So when the Phillies going to run, the whole town gets behind it. You just got to go that route. I don't, again, at either that, if you really want to go market to the casual, then cut down the regular season games.
I think they should. I think a game every other day for the entire year essentially is too much. I mean, I think also I don't know how the NFL does it. I mean, obviously they have the bye for the best teams, but it seems like almost every year,
but that sport's supposed to be played like the way that is played, right?
What was that? I'm sorry?
That sport's supposed to be played like that.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Adding even 17 games, I'm sure, all these organizations will probably want to go to 18 just for money. But, I mean, these guys are going out every day getting into multiple car accidents, essentially. I
know. Dude, I'm with you. Listen, do me a favor because we're up against it. Finish up with us tomorrow, all right? Like, everybody, thanks for hanging. I didn't realize that we're up against it. Have a great day. We love you guys, man. Stay tuned. Tyrone, Jen, best show ever coming your way next. Dickie done great job.